Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with shit. It is the 50th episode, but the 49th episode kind of got axed. Because I don't know what happened. I think Jason's files got corrupted or something.
So I
Uh
I figured out what happened, and
oh, you
so
did. Can you get it back?
no, I can't get it back. I've learned now. I'm technologically savvy in some areas and really uneducated in others. I
Right.
so basically
As we all
I
are.
assume that when I send to you the files via email, that once I send them through email, if I delete them, then they're good. But I forgot that when you send them, because they have to be sent as a drive file on Google, so that's why you couldn't access them because I had already deleted them after I sent it because I was clearing space on my fucking Google.
Oh, yeah, because it needs something to back it up.
Yeah, so
Right. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Shit, can
So
you not go to like the trash bin or something?
it was cleared. Like I'm
Fuck,
thorough. I'm
no.
very through. It was not on Audacity and it was not on Google. So
Damn it.
I cleaned
Well,
house. Sometimes I get super overstimulated and feel like my life's a mess. So I have to clean up everything. So that's that one. Those two are on me.
damn it.
hmm
Okay. Well, it was fun.
Because you took for
We talked
fucking
about.
ever. That's why. Sitting for like 2 weeks.
I'm sure I had shit to do. Did I think I went to like I don't know if that was when I went to Rome or not, but I did something. I don't know.
Did
Um,
something.
but I was just bummed because I like that one. I also like the subject matter quite a bit.
Well, I'm sure we'll talk about the same shit again. So
Yeah, I could just recommend the same thing. Maybe I could tweak some of the songs a little bit. So,
there we go. Give me a
some of the
recap.
yeah, some of the shit songs on there. Um now, dude, this cold weather is killing me.
You're not used to the cold.
Well, it's colder than last year with all the snow plus like it just feels colder, you know? I don't know what it was. Like the last 2 years felt warmer than like 2019 and 20,
Yeah.
I think. And then like 2021 as well.
I can't remember, but I think
But
this is the first time we've got any significant snowfall in the last 2 years. I don't remember if that's true or not, but I think it sounds right. I don't remember having massive snow for a little bit.
yeah, I remember like it was probably like 2 years ago where we had it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm drinking tea now
Oh God, you're
because
moving on
I
the tea. What are you drinking?
I am drinking some turmeric ginger thing. I don't exactly. I think it was like some Indian type of tea.
You feeling
I mean, I know
sick?
most. I mean, a little bit. It's
Okay.
not. It's not anything serious. It's just like that change of weather, kind of. Like my nose is just kind of. I don't know. Like I don't feel great. Like I didn't go to the gym today. Um,
Well, turmeric ginger is usually good for revitalizing. Fuck me,
I
everything.
knew
Fuck,
it.
you're spreading to me now. Jesus.
Oh shit. Well, I know that's what all like the influencer like I wake up at 3 a.m. Every morning. That's what they all drink. Like and I instantly drink like the turmeric, ginger, lemon like super juice.
Do my cold
So I
plunge.
figured
Do my daily meditation. Yeah.
right and I go into my anti-gravity like anti-reality gravity radiation room
The sensory deprivation
to
chamber.
yeah. I'm sure that would be cool to go in at like some point, but
I just want to
um
see how long it would take to get me to freak out.
yeah, um, that is interesting too. Uh, in this group chat, my buddy just says, "All in favor of Trump having the divine right as a king, say aye."
God,
And
y'all
I
are
will
cringe
say
as
aye to
fuck.
that. What? That we believe in monarchy?
No, just political things just cringe me out now. Like I can't even listen to my parents talk. I can't listen to all these dumbass people my age talk. Like everything is just to the point where like I was apathetic and now it's like starting to piss me off again. So it's like anytime someone says anything political, I'm like, ah, fuck you.
Man, shut the fuck up.
hmm
The only thing that I'm actually like I can actually get behind and be excited about is Trump. because like literally anything else, like I know it's fake, right? And like there's no chance, there's no point in like actually getting excited. I know like
Why are you excited? It's a
um
fucking
well,
like
because I know some fun shit's gonna happen. Like you know that something's gonna go down. Whereas if it's not him, then it's just gonna be the same bullshit.
I guess the only thing I could say about looking forward to him is
Like,
just like
do you see what I'm saying though? Like, at least you know something exciting is gonna happen.
I
Like,
guess it is gonna be
there's gonna
fucking
be
hilarious
some.
if he
That,
gets
that's what I'm
reelected.
saying.
There's gonna be a lot
Like,
of
there's
funny
gonna be
shit going
some.
down.
Right. There's gonna be some. Say whatever you want about like whether or not he's actually gonna do anything. Like, that's not even really what it is. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
that's
All I
not what this
know.
is about. You know what politics is about these days?
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying.
Headlines.
Like, right, and the exactly. But that's why because he's just like fundamentally. I know this is like the cliche people always say, but he's really not a politician. And you could tell like the way that he talked, like he there was a lack of knowledge of like how politics actually worked, right? But he still like had like his things he wanted to do, and I just feel like now that he's been there, then like that I know you disagree because you don't fucking trust like any, and that's fair. I really don't either. The only one who I have a remote trust in is would be Trump, but um I just feel that shit happened. They got him out, and he was frozen in carbonite, and he's coming back. And even if he's like that, won't even do any of this shit. Something fun's gonna happen, and that'll be actually something for us to rally behind. I think.
Is this the first time you're gonna vote, or did you vote in 2020? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, I voted for him in 2020.
Okay.
I mean, it was probably you know cast off and like didn't count it. Like it was probably liquidated, but um,
Well, I'm
you know how that
excited to
works.
not vote again this year because people always, you know, the people like there's two classes of people that don't vote. There's the ones that just have to tell everyone that they're not voting. I'm not one of those people. For some reason, I always just get sucked into the conversation of it, and then I don't lie to people. I'm like, nah, I'm not even registered to vote.
I'm an independent man. Both parties are
Hell
bad,
yeah, dude.
man. I
Both
mean, they
wings of the
are, but
vulture. Um,
no, they're right, but like not in the way that they think they are.
no, bro. I mean, I'm just more excited to like get people's feathers rustled from it. It's just like cannot get over it, dude. It's so fun. Cause I don't even
Yeah,
I don't even like say political shit. Like this is the most political shit I say is on here with you. But in my real life, I'm just chilling, and every time I always get lumped into political discussions, and I just have to be like, I don't give a fuck. And it's like, well, it's always convenient that you don't have to care. I'm like, you don't do anything. There's no reason. Like, you're not taking a stand. Like, you're not doing shit. Like, it doesn't matter if you fucking do it or not. Shut up about it.
well,
God.
that's right. No, I agree with you 100%. What I was gonna say is like I I don't mind talking about like quote unquote politics because that means like a bunch of fucking things. Because like what most people can perceive to be politics is just like Reddit tier stuff and like,
Yeah.
oh, Fox News and CNN. I'm like, no, like, I mean, yes, obviously that's like politics, but that's not like what I'm talking about. Like, that's like what I am when I refer to when I talk about politics is like in a completely different sphere. That's like a given that that's bullshit.
I mean, I'm glad people are starting to wake up to that because before everyone, I mean, I know it's a common thing that people just believe what they see on the news, but before
Yeah.
everyone chose what side to be on, they just legitimately soaked it up like a sponge, and that was the law to them, which is, I'm glad that that's breaking. At least, like, I mean, I've been around a lot of people, it's mainly only the boomers that watch the news. Mostly time,
Mhm.
like people our age, they just like read a fucking headline on social media. They don't actually read the goddamn article. So
Yeah, I think our generation's equivalent now is like watching pundits and stuff like that.
yeah, or infographics or
Because
whatever the fuck.
yeah, like that's technically not news because that's more of just like an opinion piece, but that's still like you're receiving information, right? And then it's filtered through something, and like you're hearing about the same stories and
What's
whatnot.
what the news is now too? Because before they would just report it, but like
Yeah,
because
they had like an unbiased network. I
Yes,
think.
I don't know about. I think CNN probably does it and NBC. I haven't watched them in years, but I'm always at my girlfriend's house and her dad fucking watches Fox News all the time, and like they don't report the news. They just like complain. That's all they do. Is
Oh
just like
yeah, it's
complain.
it's like
It's like
yeah, and like you said,
why
it's not.
they're giving boomers like things to be scared about that they're never gonna have to deal with in their life.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just fake, and it's because 24-hour news, so they need to say something.
Yeah,
So I mean,
it is really funny the shit that
yeah.
they're saying though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. So it's like you just look at that, or like you see like a freeze frame headline, and you're like, was that Photoshop? No, it wasn't. That was an actual headline. Yeah.
Their biggest fight is against electric cars. They're covering like all the batteries that are. I actually was half paying attention, so I don't know if it was the chargers that were frozen and they weren't able to get power to the cars or the actual
Hmm.
ports themselves. I don't know. It was just too cold for it to work and charge. I guess whatever the case may be. So they're just like saying how like this is the end of fucking renewable energy. We gotta start burning more coal. Gotta go nuclear. It's like chill the fuck out. They'll figure it out in like a couple months. Like God.
Didn't Japan go nuclear and then like plant blew up or something?
I mean, Japan's always blowing up nuclear shit. Oh, it's not really their
Well,
fault.
we
Last time it was
blew
from a
nuclear.
tsunami.
No, we didn't. They didn't blow that shit up. We did.
No, I know.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I have heard that nuclear is like the next best thing if they can, not have it explode.
Yeah, it's very efficient. I
Yeah,
I hear, but it's just very hard to like to contain, and it's very costly.
yeah. In the
I mean, I'd rather my money go to that than like to have like 50 billion troops in like every single country around the world. Like, I think I'd rather have that, honestly.
dude, that's like that's not even like a Democrat. Jeez, I can't talk. A Democrat versus Republican thing. Like everyone that I've ever talked to says the same shit. Like, get us out of everywhere in the world. Like, take care of America first.
Yeah, like that's like common sense.
Yeah, this is like on the left, it's like stop killing people overseas, and on the right, like just bring our troops home. So it's a common sentiment we all share. So we're starting to come together, which is nice. I think war overseas is a good common common thing to unite on.
Right, because like when you take away, we talked about this, like when you take away the labels, you'd see that the average person really does agree on most things. It's just the fact, like, there's a lot of psyops and shit that get people to believe like a bunch of crazy shit. But like honestly, if you didn't have the internet or the news or anything, like no one like would actually believe that. Like certain things you ask like like some lumberjack who lives in the middle of like like Idaho or something like that.
Yeah, they
I
always
don't
just
know.
pick the most random cliche or not cliche, the random niche stories that almost everyone will never have to experience in their life, and they're trying to get you to freak out about it. Although the commercials for Fox News are fucking top tier. I saw one about this Trump history book for kids, like or
Oh,
understanding Trump for
I like
kids. It's
those
just
because those are
so fucking cringe. There's no way you can convince me that's not cringe.
there's that, and then like they have like the Donald Trump pillows. Oh yeah.
Like I just want people to just admit that they're just fangirling. Like
Well,
they haven't had a
yes.
celebrity to gawk over in a long time because country artists are fucking boring. So now it has to be
I mean,
presidents.
I fangirl over things too. I mean,
No, I know,
we
but they
all
won't
do,
fucking
right?
admit it.
I still don't get how you're not convinced on Trump though.
What do you mean I'm not convinced on Trump? Because they're all the fucking same. Like they do the same. They all do the same shit.
Like,
Doesn't matter
but
what side
what
of
did
the.
he do that like everyone else
What do you
does?
mean? He fucking lobbies to whatever the corporate interest is of Wall Street. That's what I
Well,
said
how
about
did
the
he do
Israel
that?
shit. Like he wouldn't do anything different than what Biden's doing. Like they all just do the same shit and they just talk differently. But behind like social issues are different. Like those are easy to fucking change and see. I'm talking about like economical stuff
No, but
or
I think it's very like a lot of people who actually don't even like him have kind of come out and said that like if he was a president, then none of these fucking global conflicts would even be happening.
I mean,
and I
it's
agree
hard
with
to. I
you.
don't know. I mean, they might or might not. My point is like they all are paid by the same fucking people to do the same shit and whatever their interests
Yeah,
are.
but Trump like isn't in on that same like because you know just as well as I do that like at the end of the day, these people they're all like the phrase like it's just Hollywood for ugly people, right? It's like it's essentially just acting,
Yeah.
right? And they work for the same team. But like Trump really just isn't in on that. And that's why when you see the way that like I mean most of his party just like fucking threw him under the bus because they realized all right, this guy isn't actually like he doesn't want what our class of people want.
So then, why
He
would being
actually
president again help that? Like if that truly is the
because
case, then
he
how is that
knows
going to
he
change?
was already in there. Because I mean, when he was in there, like of course he, had like the serpent whisper to him, like the people like in the deep state and stuff like that. But now I think since he knows how that works, shit's gonna happen and it's gonna be fun. That's what I'm saying. Like whatever happens, like if he becomes president, it's gonna be fun.
Well, one thing I will say is he definitely was a better president than fucking Biden, dude. I think that's
Yeah,
apparent.
that. Yeah, if you can't admit that, then I like we know that that's code.
Yeah, I mean, even the people that voted for him fucking hate him. Like, especially like that Israel shit. That was the final nail in his coffin. Like, there's no way he's getting reelected. And everyone's like, yeah, he's way too fucking old. Like, everyone sees it. Like, he definitely was
Well, at
the worst.
least like
He probably was worse than
Trump,
Bush.
that's hard.
I know
Oh
it's
man.
hard to fuck it up more than Bush did. So good job, Joe.
Do you think
Really
Obama
working it.
Do you think Obama's worse than Bush or Bush is the worst?
I mean, honestly, I'm the only thing I really know concretely about Bush was the Iraq War was probably the largest mistake. So I'm really basing it off of that.
Well,
I really
yes.
was too young to gauge it because I didn't drive or pay bills or that shit back then. So I don't know. I don't know if Obama was worse than Bush.
Yeah. Well, at least like with Trump, there's certain things you could point to in his presidency where you can be like, yeah, that was good. But like with Biden, I'm like, who would like what would these people who actually voted for and supported him like what would they even look to in his presidency and be like, yeah, that was good, you know?
I do remember. I can't. I think this had been like 26 or 2017, I think, because I was still in community college and I was taking a business class, and college professors are usually left leaning, and I remember we
Yes.
were talking about like we were talking about the GDP, and people were getting into a debate about this shit, and this is so long ago, but it was basically along the lines the professor was like, it's kind of hard to argue his. I mean, ethics and politics are two different kind of stories. People like to intertwine them, but basically saying like
True.
the economy was doing a lot better than it was, under Obama and Bush, and then obviously way better than Biden is now. But most of that probably was beginning off with a pandemic, so I can't really, knock him too hard for that. But obviously, policy changes that he's made probably doesn't help at all. But I
Yeah.
mean, the GDP was definitely higher under Trump, I think. If I'm remembering correctly, I can't remember if it was higher than it is now or if it was just growing rapidly when he was president. That's what I don't remember.
I mean, even if it was like that isn't I mean, that very may well be true. That's just not really like the argument. Um, I would say to like he was a better president. Because honestly, I think like GDP is kind of fake. Um, because like no one can actually tell me what it means.
Yeah, I don't remember what it
Um,
means.
right, but also like just because there's like a high GDP, like that doesn't always equal or that's not always indicative of yeah, like how was our day-to-day lives? How was our because all it really is just like all of the transactions that have taken place like in that year, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, I
Um,
remember him specifically
right.
mentioning that too. That
So
GDP doesn't automatically, assume like a good economy for the regular folk.
right, because exactly. Exactly. Well, yeah, I mean like the reason, GDP would have been lower back when there wasn't um like back when like currency was just it was very hard, like it was objects and stuff like that. You didn't want to just spend money all the time because like now we can only perceive money as just, numbers on a screen.
Yeah.
But of course, like back in the day, there was just a lot less transactions. But does that mean we were worse off? I just think about it.
Yeah, I mean,
um,
I guess it's. I mean, I guess the biggest tagline for Republicans or people that for Republicans is, having a higher GDP means like you're producing more products in America and you're selling more of it. So I guess it's better for jobs, and that's one thing they really give a fuck about. So I could see how it's a big voting factor, especially for.
it makes sense.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I
Um,
mean, I don't know. I, what I don't know, because like obviously inflation has been continuously rising, you know, ever since, like it never stops. So, but it's like with the
yeah,
wages to keep up with it and all that shit and the
but yeah,
market
it's
values
been
and everything. So that's obviously also getting worse. Like I don't remember that being better under. I know the gas prices were lower, but those go up and down every fucking couple years anyway. So whatever.
that is true. Yeah, but didn't he bring him? Didn't Trump bring it to like the all time low?
I think
Because
possibly
I'm
because
pretty
I
sure.
remember. I
Um,
can't remember. I think I was talking about this last time. I can't remember if it was the end of Obama's last term or if it was the beginning of Trump's first term. But I remember gas was below $2.
yeah.
I think it's like 189. I think was the lowest that I've ever seen it get. But like I said, I
Yeah, and
can't
I
remember if
think
that was the end of Obama or beginning of Trump.
the highest was like in the 70s because we got embargoed.
Oh God.
That's so weird. Like I forgot. I mean, of course, I wasn't alive in that time, but it's just so weird to think about, like the U.S. getting embargoed. Like we don't really think about us getting it because we just think like we have everything,
Yeah.
And it just makes you realize like shit isn't free.
Yeah. Nothing's fucking free. Yeah. Even if you're
Mm-mm.
paying for it, the quality of it's worse too.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. Fuck all of it. I don't give a shit. People care for like a year, and then they stop caring. So who cares?
Yeah.
People go
Yeah.
back to all the bullshit they do. Although the one thing that I'm not looking forward to was I am not looking forward to everyone freaking out about everything Trump ever says. Like I'm not looking forward to that. That's gonna be really fucking annoying.
Oh, okay.
Oh, dude, if I have to hear about he took a shit wrong, like I swear to God, I'm gonna just delete social media. I'm gonna turn off my fucking phone. I cannot handle like
Bro,
the
or like
continuous bitching from these
he
motherfuckers.
ate fried chicken with a fork and knife. Dude, like his daughter said happy birthday to his granddaughter, but it was only her half birthday. So like, bro.
I just I'm my
Well,
spirit is
like I
not like
said,
life is too shitty for people to be complaining about the shit that Trump says. Like I'm not interested in the slightest.
don't you find it interesting that once he got restored to Twitter, he hasn't made like a single tweet? Because like I feel like back in like 2016, that's like all you would hear about was just like always just, oh, Trump tweeted this or this is that's this stuff. But now he's just silent.
I mean, I'm sure he has tweets, but nobody fucking reports on it. So just wait till he's president. I'm sure that'll kick back up again. Like the president's tweeting again.
Could be, yeah,
Shut the fuck up.
yeah,
No one gives a fuck.
yeah. But like I said, say whatever you want about him. Whenever he gets in office, things are gonna be.
I dude, I wish like. Nah, I can't say. Never mind. I was gonna say something really crazy, but I'm not. I'm gonna
Well,
spare it.
all right.
Um,
Well, no one
but
listens to this anyways.
yeah, but I don't want the
I
fucking ATF at my door.
I get you.
Um,
Hey, I've said a bunch of crazy shit that could get me canceled. So
by the way, disband the ATF and possibly the FBI and the
what
CIA. That's a given. Disband all those guys.
what is the ATF?
The Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Commission
Oh, do
regulatory
they like
system. I don't know what
regulate
their
all
ending
that
is, but
bullshit?
they're hmm.
They like regulate all that stuff?
Yep, alcohol, tobacco, and guns.
That's so stupid. I wish can we just have all like alcohol laws like Louisiana, please?
Yeah, we gotta get everyone dumb as possible and drive through daiquiris.
Yes, you need that.
Well, we do overcompensate with everything in this country, so you might get your wish.
Yeah. No, if that happens, I'm opening up a drive-through daiquiri place.
You
Um,
drive through that, just let that sink in. Like,
are you kidding me? People would like. I would make so much money from that.
I'm sure you would, but like there'd be checkpoints everywhere. So is that a big? I'm actually am kind of curious. Like, are those everywhere in Louisiana, or is that only like around the popular tourist parts?
Well, so um, drive-through daiquiris. I don't know if there's any in Baton Rouge, but there's a bunch in New Orleans. I mean, it's just daiquiri places in general, really. Um,
So here's a logistical question, or I guess a
yes.
liability question. Like, if you go to a drive-through place and buy a daiquiri and you're like in the car by yourself and you're driving, will they serve it to you, or do you have to be a passenger? Like, what's the? They just fucking like, here you go, here's a straw.
Well, I'm just saying, like I said, if like all of the laws became like Louisiana, then I would do it. But
No,
like
I'm
as
curious
the
about what's the like in Louisiana, like you can order a daiquiri through a drive-through if if you're driving the car.
yeah, they like it's just like you get any other drink in like a
That's
yeah,
crazy to me.
yeah, they just like or sometimes I think now some of them the straw's already in there.
That's so fucking well. Just like a
Yeah, dude,
smoothie, just sitting there
Louisiana.
driving, drinking a daiquiri. Does
Yeah,
no one
dude.
get? I assume people get in trouble for that. Like they just like have a
Oh.
fucking drink with a straw and they're just drunk driving and they get pulled. Like I'm sure that
Well,
happens frequently.
they get in trouble if they like, crash into something, but like Louisiana doesn't have any laws about like alcohol in the car or anything.
I'm not saying alcohol in the car. I'm just saying the fact that they have alcohol in the car with a straw. It's probably easier, like in their mind, like oh, I can just drink this on the way home. It'll be fine.
Well, yeah,
And they get
assuming yeah, if you end up, you know, r- actually like fucking up in the driving part, then yeah.
okay. Well, I guess if it's still a thing, I guess I just in
But
my
it's
head I just
so
automatically assume like you're just like the guy's already drunk and driving. And I'm like, here you go, here's a daiquiri,
yeah,
thank you.
here you go. Yeah, but
It's just a wild concept to me. I don't know why.
I just didn't realize like how retarded the alcohol laws were here. Like people are always like going nuts about the old town parties because like oh you could walk around with the alcohol in your hand. I'm like wait that's like you can't do that in other parts. What? That
Yeah,
is
it's
just
frowned
crazy.
upon.
Well, because in Louisiana you can just kind of I mean if you pay for it you could do whatever you want.
But you can't be like drunk in public though. They can give you disorderly. Or
Well, assuming you're not actually doing. I mean if you're just some drunk dude who's not really harming anybody then no they're not gonna care.
interesting.
It's like it's basically until you start doing actually disruptive things while you're drunk.
If you
No,
actually are disorderly.
yeah, if you actually are disorderly, they'll do something. But if you're just like drinking, they're not going to get you just for that.
Oh, what a place to be a dreamer, I will say.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember if I told you this. Like, I was with my buddy in Louisiana, and he goes, "Yeah, Louisiana is like the Latin America of America." I'm like, "Yes." That is so accurate.
Could see it. A bunch of fucking Cajuns running around unchecked.
Yeah. Going like alligator hunting. No, I couldn't
Walk
agree
around
more.
with no teeth and too much confidence.
Hmm.
But
Well, I think
damn.
at this point it's time to start talking about the things we were supposed to talk about.
Hell yeah.
So you recommended some music.
I did. I don't even remember what I recommended. It's been so long.
It was hold on, it was called. Let me see. I was just
Oh, I
listening to
remember
it not that long
it
ago.
was Ginger. That's what it was.
Jinjer. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So, give me a little background on Jinjer.
Ginger is a band from Ukraine, and
Mm.
I think they've been since like the maybe like 2012, 2014, somewhere around there. I think is when they started, maybe a little bit later. But they pretty much got really popular because their lead singer slash screamer is incredibly talented and can also do this shit live very well. And a lot of they've kind of their genre is just like they kind of go forth between like groove and death metal, but I think their songs are pretty catchy, so I've always enjoyed listening to them. They're great gym songs. They always get me pumped up every time I listen to them. But like I said,
Hmm.
I think like I like the vocal rhythms and melodies that she puts into the songs. So that's why because like, I usually don't, and I think this is a fault of the guitar players, like so bands like Spirit Box or Evanescence or like any like the other like quote unquote female fronted metal bands. I think are kind of boring because I don't think the instrumentations are usually that creative. I know people are gonna really scream their heads off because Spirit Box is insanely popular, but same thing with Sleep Token, but they don't have a female vocalist. I just think their shit's kind of boring. But these guys, I actually like the riffs and the stuff that they do musically, and then I also think that her vocals are really catchy. So, grabs your attention, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, um, I thought they were like fine. There was a couple of songs I actually really liked, but for the most part, it was just songs where I was like, yeah, it's good, but it didn't really think much past that. The standout tracks to me were When Two Empires Collide, and Perennial. I thought Perennial was really good. I really got that kind of what was the other genre you said? It was like metal and like what kind of vibes?
Like groove, it's very groovy.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of like the harmonies on the guitar, and it gave some levity, that part of the song. I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Um, like the note choices were excellent. The harmony was great. Yeah, and When Two Empires Collide, I remember I really liked that one. Um, but for the most part, it was just kind of like there, and it didn't really do it for me that much. I mean, like I said, I didn't dislike it, just didn't particularly speak to me.
They're one of those bands like you have to, not you have to, but you just kind of have. I should have articulated this before I opened my mouth. Fuck, man, I'm fucking just so
You
stupid.
have to like get into
I
it,
have to
man.
think stuff before I say it.
Yeah, duh.
My brain works quicker, or my mouth works quicker than my brain. Everyone can notice,
Oh
but
yes.
um, they they're one of those bands that they kind of grow on you because when I first listened to them, I kind of had the same sort of deal where it's just like, oh,
Mm.
they're kind of cool, they're solid. Um, but I think like I say this every fucking time. It's so annoying that I keep saying it, but like trying to play the songs always just gets a better respect for me because I think the first one that I heard was I Speak Astronomy, and that riff is really fucking fun to play. The main hook, so that one's always fun. And then Outlander is a really fun song to play too. The first
Hmm.
track. So that one to me, Outlander I think was the grooviest song in my opinion on the playlist. But like I said, to me like they're great gym songs if you really want to pump or if you're doing cardio. Like these are good like running songs for some reason.
I don't do any of
You fat fuck.
that. I really
But
liked the album covers. Thought those were really well designed. With the
yeah, the
skeleton with the top hat and I don't know what that is for perennial, like that white and black kind of.
looks like a microscope kind of view of a inked organism or something.
Yeah, because you get the little tentacle thingies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but honestly, like, I don't really. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I just don't really have much to say about it. It just didn't really. It just didn't really speak to me.
What was it the vocals or just the way that the songs were structured?
Um, the way the songs are structured was fine. I guess yeah, kind of the vocals was part of it. I don't know. It just it just didn't have that that special sauce. Like the X factor that some of the other stuff you've sent me has.
Right.
Um, it's very hard to explain, and it's not like the actual genre of music itself that I can't get behind. I mean, generally speaking, I've been listening to this kind of stuff just less and less over time, but there's still stuff in the genres I listen to regularly where I'm like, nah, that just like doesn't do it for me. And it's a very I don't know exactly what it is. It's just like how to describe it other than that it just doesn't have that like spice, the secret ingredient to the secret ingredient soup.
No, no. I mean, it's just like with any music, no matter if like you like the genre or not. Like, there's just songs you just don't like for whatever reason. Like, it's fine. It's not a bad song. It just doesn't, like you said, it just doesn't speak to you.
Yeah, it's just
I
not
just think it's
clicking,
interesting.
you know?
Like sometimes like it's hard to articulate because I usually think I'm pretty in my head. It's pretty clear why I don't like a song. Um, and then
Yes.
there's very few songs I don't like, and I don't know the reason why I don't like them. Like, is it sounds like it works, it just doesn't grab me. Um, but I don't have a problem with it. But like I said, they're one of those bands that just kind of grow on you, and like the one thing's like you'll forget about them, and then you'll just start like humming one of their songs in your head randomly, even if you haven't thought about it in forever. Like they're one of those types of groups.
I really felt that about Five Finger Death Punch. They have some really good songs. Like I'm still like humming in my head like the do 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 do. That riff was great.
What was that one? I didn't.
That was let me see which one it was. Yeah, of course now I don't remember the name of the song. Let me see.
Because those guys didn't really speak to you either, didn't they? Or they just
No, no,
like,
but like it happened to me the same thing that you were saying, where just they had some really nice melodies that were just stuck in my head, and I went back and I was like, oh, actually, this is pretty good. Um, hold on, it's pulling up the. Well, I'll figure it out later. um, yeah, so maybe it might happen with these guys, but yeah, sorry, I just don't really have much to say. Like,
well, then we can. I'm trying to think of anything else that I wanted to add for this. Um,
well, I really like Perennial, and I had to check to make sure that that was part of the playlist because it just after the last song goes, it just goes off and plays like a random song.
yeah,
Um,
YouTube does that.
yeah, which I actually like because it just keeps, you know, you don't have to set it to something else; it just automatically goes. But
I like it because this is what Google used to do. Like before it was YouTube Music, it was you had Google Play, and they always recommended similar artists to what you're listening to, and most of the time they're pretty spot on. So I'd always find
mm,
new groups by just looking through Google and seeing what they would recommend for the stuff that you were listening to. Um,
yeah, I think
but
Spotify is really good at that. They give really good recommendations.
Yeah, but like I said, I think the biggest appeal for these guys was like in all like the and obviously like they like the whole term like female fronted is a stupid classification in itself. But it is true that there's a lot of alternative metal bands that just have a female vocalist that kind of sound similar to each other. So that's why people have lumped it into that category. There's a ton of other bands that have female vocalists that are in different genres and they're way better than the ones that get really popular. But it's the
Mm.
fact that like these guys are really tight live and like they can act like she can actually sing and do all the shit live, and then the band is tight too musically. So that's like the biggest part of their appeal.
I guess that might have been the reason why I didn't like it that much. I don't know. It's just like a woman singing metal was just kind of weird. Maybe I'll get used to it at some point, but
I don't know what did. You're not the first person that tells me that. There's so many people that I've talked to that just can't get over that for some reason. I've never understood it.
oh yeah, and you know my opinions about how I think the roles of women in society should be. So, and I'm
And then
glad I
screaming metal is not one of those roles.
right, and I'm glad like you
What
actually
the
realize
fuck?
like it's not just because of like my like, my trad views, but it's just
What about that is a role? It's just music though. What does it
no, that's what I'm
matter?
saying. Like I'm actually I thought you were just gonna rag on me about that, but then
No, I just
oh okay
I know it's a view that a lot of people have. Like they
right.
probably don't take it there, but like they just as a physical sound, they can't get over it for some reason. I don't fucking know. I always thought I've liked this. I like I said, I do agree that a lot of the female fronted bands that are popular are pretty fucking boring. But
Yeah. I mean,
there's
it's not that
like not.
yeah, it's not that I don't like women singing. It's just not in metal.
But why? That's what I'm saying. Why is that? Because I know it's a thing. Because a lot of people think that, and I'm not pulling like the sexist card or anything. I'm just like generally curious why in metal like the female vocals are just such a strange thing.
I mean, it just feels out of place because like metal just feels so like like masculine, and it's just like when there's like a woman singing, it just kind of takes you out of the vibe, honestly.
Interesting.
Like some of these
I've always liked the
songs,
contrast because If I think about it, like actually, like a woman singing Tool, because I've heard a lot of covers
Some
of
of that
Tool
actually
songs
could
over the
sound
years, and like
interesting, yeah.
yeah, because like that probably would be the one that would have the least amount of
Yeah, because that's like
contrast.
has a bunch of like kind of spiritual, like ethereal sounding stuff. So,
Yeah,
and a lot of times that stuff can be sung by like a woman, you know.
yeah.
Um, like
So I
some
guess I
of
could see
the
the point of like this genre of a woman singing this genre. I guess I like the contrast, but I guess I could see it for this one specific, like the harder metal genres having a woman sing or scream on it.
I see what you're saying about how like you kind of see it as like a it's like a contrast and it complements it, but I just don't see it that way. Like in my opinion, it just feels like it's just too like it's too like it's like the two magnets that like don't connect. Um,
Is it like her? This like is it just like singing in general? Because I know like not very few of them scream, even though it's becoming
no,
more
she's a
popular
good
for women to
singer.
scream.
Yeah, it's not
But
that the
is it just her singing vocals in contrast with harder guitar riffs? Like that's what I'm confused about.
no, it's not like her singing. The problem's not the singing. Like she's a good singer. It's just I just don't think it goes well with the music. Like because it's just the pitch of the voice and like it's a woman. It's just that simple.
Do you like genres of music where the dudes have higher pitched voices? Like for example,
Hmm.
I'm trying to. Oh, obviously now I'm fucking blanking. Um, I usually don't like males with high pitched voices in metal. That's kind of. I think like the best example is
Yeah,
like
who does? That's what
Judas
I'm trying to.
Priest or Iron Maiden. I can't stand that shit. I hate when dudes try to do falsetto. I hate the '80s style. But like, I'd rather hear a woman sing those than fucking Judas or than those
There's
guys for some reason.
I never really got into Judas Priest. Iron Maiden has like a couple bangers, but for the most part, they're just like kind of mid.
Actually,
Um,
Judas Priest doesn't really bother me that much. It's really Iron Maiden and Van Halen and fucking
I'm just,
all those other guys.
I'm just not like familiar with Judas Priest. I listened to some of their stuff, and I don't know. I just didn't settle in.
Rob Halford's definitely a better vocalist, but like I think Iron
I'm
Maiden's
sure he
probably the
is.
worst
Yeah.
of them. Dream Theater is probably actually not a thing about Dream Theater is probably the worst.
Who? What do they sing?
They're like progressive metal, but they're they have
No,
like a
but
very
what songs did they make?
um
Like, would I know any of that?
I, I don't think you would listen to them. They're popular, but they're not like
Yeah, I've
you
heard
hear
that
them on the.
name, but they're not a
I
radio
mean, there's
thing.
Pull Me Under, fucking oh my god, Panic
There's
Attack. That's another one.
Cotton
That's
Eye
popular.
Joe.
But like the vocalist in that band is fucking awful.
Oh,
Just like
really?
high,
Okay.
just like high falsetto, like just operatic shitty vocals. So I'd rather hear a woman with that pitch sing that than those dudes do it. But I don't know. I mean, I think it's because it just doesn't sound out of place to me. I guess that's just the thing. Like I don't know if it's a thing you just get used to the more you listen to it, but like I don't know,
Yeah,
it's never sounded out of place to me.
right.
Um,
It's
but
kind of
a lot of
the
people do share that sentiment, which is interesting.
yeah. Um yeah, I figured this would be more common than just me. It's kind of like the similar like way I see like mariachi. Like when I've heard mariachi when it's sung by a woman, like it's still the same genre of music and it's like the singing is good, right? And like the notes are there. It's just like I just it's just I don't associate that with women. You know, like mariachi to me is just like a very like masculine like you know exactly what I'm getting at.
I forgot
Um
you said that. Yeah, I do remember
right, when we had the episode about that.
that.
Um yeah. Um so yeah.
I mean, I will say, and this is based off of nothing, just based off of what I can hear. I'm sure people have a more technical answer, but I feel like men sometimes have more range in what they can sing,
Hmm,
but I don't think it sounds good all of the time. Like women kind of usually stay around a range. Like not many of them can sing low that well, and
right.
some of them sing way too fucking high. but sometimes there's a pocket that some women singers sit in that's really soothing, and to me, like you said, it really sounds ethereal. But that's why I like that contrast in like harder styles of music because it kind of does the same premise that I haven't you know who Meshuggah is, right?
No.
I don't think you'd like them. They're super like technical polyrhythmic metal band, and
Okay.
sometimes their songs are long and sometimes they're kind of hard to. A lot of people that like Tool and like Gojira like them, but they're a
Mm.
little bit more out there to get into because it's just
Well, I like
there's
Tool
pretty
Gojira.
much almost no melody in a lot of the music. It's all
Mm.
screaming. It's all rhythmic.
Yeah,
But if
that's
you're
gonna be a problem for me.
well, yeah. So
Right, I see what you're
there's
saying.
that
Yeah.
way you can take it, but the other way, in the well, how I'm bridging it to female vocals for some reason, this is just makes sense in my head, is that it almost has a meditative sort of
Mm.
aspect to it. Like you have this just disgustingly distorted guitars, this hard to follow rhythm, but you have simple drums, and the vocalist is kind of screaming at the same pitch, and so like it almost kind of makes you zone out and kind of like almost cathartically meditate to it. I kind of get the same sort of feeling with like female vocal, but except for Jinjer. Jinjer is like a very high energy band, and I think her voice is
Hmm.
powerful. I don't think her voice is weak at all. So I think to me her voice fits well with the music that they're doing because I like the grooves and the actual rhythms that she writes in her vocal lines, and I think it meshes well with the instrumentation. But there's other bands where just like, and this is a lot of the psychedelic and stoner bands that do this. They'll have just like low, sludgy guitar sounds, rhythmic, and then like slow, pulsating female vocals with a lot of reverb on it. So usually that's probably the greatest contrast. But um,
Yeah.
just kind of a convoluted way to explain that. It just honestly like I don't like bands with female vocalists where the music itself is not interesting. Like if there's no like really good defining melody or really catchy rhythm, if it's just like power chords and a little bit of bouncy gent here and there, it's just fucking boring to me. Even if a guy was singing it, but still, it's I think it's worse for me when a female sings that kind of shit. I don't know why.
Because it's a woman.
Fuck women. Um, but no, as long on top of there's a lot of like European folk bands that have like really talented, like full on classically trained female singers that just fucking kill it. But the music is kind
Mm.
of boring, so it almost takes me out of it. But there's some bands that are good, like Epica, Nightwish, but they can get kind of, cheesy and medieval sometimes. But
I like medieval music. I'm sure you
you
don't.
might actually, I mean,
Maybe.
this
Um.
one's, I don't know if you it sounds more musical esque, um, more thematic. It's not really meant to be like, it's meant for performance more than you listening to their songs, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah. But I really like the lute.
The what? Oh, the lute. Yeah,
Yeah, the
lute's nice.
lute's very good. Um.
Um, what genre
There's
of music do you think women like sound best in?
hmm. Um. I mean, of course, I'm a churchgoer, so I think that women sound really nice when they sing, like hymns and chants. But
Okay.
like that aside, if you're talking about more like genres, like like rap, rock, or like that in that vein, I guess. I really like when women sing kind of like bluegrass music. Um, I don't want to say country because that gives off a certain connotation,
Yeah.
but I guess like just southern music, I think women sound nice singing.
You like Heart,
What is that?
the Barracuda, that song?
No, I'm not familiar with it.
You never heard Barracuda?
I mean,
Dun,
maybe
dun,
if you
dun, 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 dun,
maybe if you
dun.
played it,
Dun, dun,
I would.
dun, dun. It's pretty
Um,
pop. I'm sure you've heard it. It's a pretty popular song. Um,
I also like
yeah,
when I
yeah,
like when women sing ballads.
yeah.
Um,
Ballads are good.
yeah, ballads are nice.
I really like the '50s country western singers. They got Peggy Lee. Um,
Yeah.
fuck, who else? I'm so bad at names. But like that kind of like really sad songwriter, kind of romantic westerns. Those are always really good. I always like those a lot.
Yeah, you know what movie actually has a really, really good soundtrack? Is Bolt. That like
The fucking dog.
yeah, because like they go all throughout America and they actually play a bunch of really good music.
You and kids movies, man. It always circles back.
Well, they come up because like it's just like a lot of times we just like watch family movies, or like a family movie is just like on in my house because like my mom likes to put something on with like my little sister while she's knitting or something like that.
Yeah.
So it just just happen to see it a lot. Um, and of course, like when my dad's watching, it's like Mad Men, Downton Abbey. Uh, what else does he watch? Like uh, a Seinfeld. So that's
Seinfeld.
yeah, so that's what my
Some
dad
boomer
watches.
shit, bro.
It's funny. There's some really really good stuff in there. I mean, a lot of it, like most comedy, it's just it kind of makes you chuckle, right? But there's some episodes where I've been dying laughing.
At Seinfeld?
Yeah, there's some really good slapstick and like and just situational irony and stuff like that. They're good at that.
Oh
Um,
yeah, if you love situational irony, get a fucking load of sitcom.
yeah, I tried to say something that wasn't just it's good situational. Well, of course, yeah, because that's what the whole point of that genre is. But
I know.
right, yeah. Oh, also, I really like when women sing kind of like, have you heard like Mardi Gras music?
Um,
There's that song
are you
called,
talking about jazz or Zydeco? I don't know. What are you referring
well,
to?
there's all the, but you know the kind of like Mardi Gras march music.
Maybe.
And
I don't know.
there's a bunch of really good kind of songs that everyone can start coming in and chanting. It's really nice. There's the one called Aiko Aiko One Day. And it's
Mm,
this song that the slaves would sing. And it literally, I mean, because it's just broken English. It's I go one day.
yeah.
And it's so catchy. It's like, hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now, I go one day, it's just really good. And when I hear women singing it, it's just so nice. Like I like that kind of music when I hear women singing it. Like Brazilian music, that kind of vibe. When you
Yeah.
hear like large groups of people singing, um, but for some reason it just kind of sounds female, and it like you does that make sense?
Yeah. No.
Like
I
I
think
hear the female tones like kind of just like kind of bearing over the rest of it.
I think one of my favorite. I think probably of all time that really I really because God I don't know how to say this. There's not that many women singers that I actually really feel something when they sing. I feel like there's a lot more talented women singers than there are male singers, but for some
Mm.
reason, I don't know if it's because if I am male, like I feel more moved when I hear like a really good male line versus like a really good female line. I don't know why, but
Mm, yeah.
instead of like I think the female vocals that I really love. I feel like I'm saying that too much. Female, male, women. It feels it's tongue twisted to me. It feels stupid to say for
Female,
some
male,
reason.
male,
Anyway,
male, female.
yeah, fucking XY. I think like the prettiest vocals of probably are my favorite that like moves me is like Indian Carnatic singing. Like they have this sitar
Mm.
going and the tablas in the background. They have this woman just doing this the most beautiful scale I've ever heard in my life, and it's just so fucking like trancy.
Yeah,
So I
that could
think in
be.
terms
I
of
think that's not to take it away from like the women, but I think that's good with like a man or a woman. That's not like that's
yeah,
either or. That I like
they're
that.
both great, but I think women sing that style so much better than the men. Well, at least the ones that I've heard, it's very limited. But every man that I've heard, they're also great singers too. But I think the women
Yeah.
really dominate that field in my opinion
Oh, also in like
because their
gypsy.
range is insane. I don't know if you ever heard these women
Yeah.
sing, but
Oh, yeah.
goddamn,
Yeah, like the super tiny little subtle changes that like
yeah, the
flutter.
wavering
It's so
pitches is awesome.
yeah, you get that similar vibe in like gypsy music and flamenco and Arabic kind of stuff. Just
Yeah,
those because those scales, oh, it just sounds so nice, like those minor scales.
yeah.
Um,
Any culture where women sing like Eastern styled music and scales is just it's fucking beautiful. I love it so
oh
much.
yeah, yeah.
Like
Um,
those are the female vocals I think that move me emotionally more than like Western styled ones for some reason. I don't know why.
because you're smoking weed, man.
God, I wish. But
Oh, you actually wish you could.
nah, I don't give a fuck. I'm
Yeah.
I'm fine not doing it.
If you
It's not a thing.
if you could, would you do it?
I don't know because like I don't really have like an addictive personality,
Right,
but the reason why I don't drink that much or I don't do like I'm not a substance guy is because there's nothing that I've ever felt that I've want to have a prolonged experience with. Like I'm fine being sober and like
right,
experiencing experiencing the high naturally in life. But obviously it's not as exaggerated. I get that, but
right.
I don't know. I've never had the desire to just change my state of consciousness that much.
Yeah, because like yeah, just generally speaking, like I'm just fine with what I have, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
because it's the same thing I like about being drunk is that like I'm very, very, very rarely drunk. So that's why I like doing it like once every couple months or once a month or whatever. So like I don't drink at all. Then like I'll have one time I'll just have like let loose and just have a shit ton of fun with the people that I'm with, as opposed to like drinking every day. Or at least I mean, God forbid getting drunk every fucking day, but just like drinking to feel something. Because if you just have one beer every day, what the fuck is the point? You know what I mean? Like I don't
I
get
mean,
people that
some
just
people like the
have one drink.
taste. Like it relaxes them the same way that like you drink like you come home you drink a beer in the same way that someone is like, oh, I come home and drink a Coke. But I think either way, like I don't think you should do either one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think you
so
should come
I
home
don't
and
know.
you know, consume something else. I'm not saying it's
Yeah.
wrong to come home and, feel a sense of rejuvenation, but you can just do that in a different way.
I just like the idea of losing control to everything, but having the ability to snap out of it. Like that's the one thing that always took me away from psychedelics or being high is that like if I was not having a good time or enjoying it, like I'd have to fucking ride that wave, and I was just not interested in doing that. Like when I'm done, I'm done.
Yeah, which is actually why I think alcohol is superior because it just
Yeah,
it gets expelled from your system quicker.
really quick. Because
Yeah,
like
and
I've
it
never
doesn't
drank
last
to the
as
point where I
long.
black out, so I've never like
Yeah, neither have I.
had to be a
Um,
problem. Like I can just like, oh, I'm drunk, I'm good to come down now, and I'm fine. Like I never
how
freak out
much
or
do you
you know what I mean.
even need to drink to become blackout?
It's different for each person, but it's a
That's
shit
like
ton,
that
I
cannot
guess.
be enjoyable to be that drunk.
No, it's not. Like I would get sick before I would black out. I know that for sure. So that's why I'll never black out in my life. And I've only ever gotten sick once. I'm like never fucking again.
Right.
Like like every time people get drunk and they throw up, they're like, "I'll never do this again." I was serious the first time. It's never happened twice.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, I haven't gotten like drunk in like I don't even remember how long.
I
Um,
want to see you drunk. That'd be fucking hilarious.
I mean, just tipsy kind of drunk.
No, like shit faced.
Oh well, I haven't been. I don't even think I've ever been shit faced.
Oh, we got to make it happen.
No.
You're gonna say some ignorant shit. I already fucking know.
Well, you're not getting me shit faced. So even so,
Start
like
dropping
my
n bombs.
I
Fucking
don't know what's an M bomb.
never mind.
Okay, well, I don't know, like because I'm Jewish, my alcohol tolerance, like I have like the Hoover Dam in my like it just blocking me from like it entering my bloodstream. It's insane.
Is that a
So
thing? I
like,
don't know. Jews have high tolerance to alcohol.
oh, they do. Jews have like
Interesting.
they have one of the lowest rates of alcoholism of like any ethnicity.
It's
Um,
because they can't fucking feel it.
yeah.
That's too expensive. I can't give up.
Well, I mean, they feel it. Like I feel it. It's just I don't know. I just feel like this like mature, controlled connection to alcohol when
Right.
I drink it. It's not like I can stop. Like if someone just like took it away, I'd be like, yeah, whatever. Or like it just I don't know. It's just Jews have a very interesting relationship with alcohol, and just they never abuse it. It's never taboo for them. Um.
Is there also a low addiction rate to other drugs too, or is it just alcohol?
Well, other drugs. I mean, those can't be counted just because they they don't really they can't do them.
Well, I know
um.
they can't do them, but
I mean,
no one can do them. They just do it.
some people do it, but it's more. But I mean, if you look at like a survey of like a Hasidic Jewish community, like no one is going to be doing that. But
Fair enough.
Um,
I don't know if there's a dark secret
but of course,
underneath the robes.
right. Well, I mean, of course, like it's counting everyone who's ethnically Jewish. So it's not just Hasidic Jews. It's just yeah, it really is just ethnic Jews in general. And yeah, it's also with drugs. They don't have that same kind of like I don't know, like genes that make it like more conducive to them craving it more. Because like
Yeah.
I don't crave alcohol. You know, like it just I mean I like it. It's fine to just get that. You know, it's not a nice little buzz. It's like kind of makes the promotes fellowship. You know, and it's nice. You know,
Yeah.
whereas like I don't the actual like high you get from being drunk, like I don't know. Like it's just it's not that great to me. Like it's not like that oh like that sensation, man, like the best feeling. Oh man, you know, like I just don't see like I wouldn't drink just to feel that. Like that's whatever. Kind of sucks actually. Like if all you're
I get.
doing is to just get to that, like just to feel that, like man,
Well,
that's
yeah. I mean, it's all a mindset of what, like, how you view it, and if you can't handle everyday life and you need that to feel good, then yeah, that's obviously fucking a problem. But I mean, I'm in the same way. There's no alcohol in my house. I've only ever like I said, it's a social thing, so I don't look like I don't crave it either. I don't look forward to like oh I can't wait till I get drunk. I just like it in the fact of it always just anytime I get drunk, it's because like I'm having a fun like social gathering with my friends or whatever, right? That's really the only thing is I look forward to, not the actual act of getting drunk itself. Just the act of like it's just gonna be a fun night, you know?
yeah, like the only I mean, I have alcohol in my house, right? But it's just I don't feel the need to just like, oh, yep, gotta go to the liquor cabinet. Like
Yeah.
I just or anything, or just like, yo, here's a beer. Like I just don't need that. I just have like other shit to do. But it's and like even when I live like when I'm not even living with my family anymore, I'm still gonna have alcohol in my house, and I'm probably gonna have the same you know behavior with it. It's just I when I'm by myself, I just don't feel the need to do it.
Yeah. And I'm the same way. I cannot do it by myself. It's so fucking depressing. I did it once. I was like, never again. But that's a good thing. Like, anytime I've ever had a really rough day, I've never felt the need to, like, drink, which is, I think, a good sign.
Oh, that is a great sign.
Yeah,
Um,
I've never been. I've had really rough days in my life, but I've never ever like had the like I'm not even saying that to hide it. Like I legitimately have never had a desire to like get drunk or drink after having a bad day. Um, Usually I just want to play video games. That's usually like I've had like a really shit day. Like I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to play like video games for the rest of the night until I
yeah,
hate myself and go to sleep. That's really what I
right.
or music or whatever.
Yeah, it's like
But it's
I
never
would just
been.
like watch a movie or something.
Yeah, I just need to decompress.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
I've never, like I said, I've never ever felt the need to get drunk after a rough, you know, getting cheated on, losing jobs, losing money, all that shit. Never. It was just funny to me.
yeah. But I mean, yeah, that is one of my rules is that I can't do it by myself. Similar to tobacco, where like um well that I feel like if I did it by myself, I would, you know, just kind of do it all the time. So I'm like, yeah, to avoid that, my rule is to never do it by myself.
You mean
Um,
just cigars?
well, any tobacco.
Mm.
I mean,
I don't know if you smoke cigarettes or not.
I like cigarettes. Like if someone offers me one, like sure, I'll take it, but like I don't feel the need to like go and buy a pack. Like I just it's whatever. Like I'll get the next one when I get the next one.
It's crazy. You seem like the exact opposite guy to smoke cigarettes. Like your parents don't smoke, right?
No, but they're not like I mean they're kind of skeptical. Well, at least my mom is. My dad cares less, but um like they're like like slightly skeptical of cigarettes. Just because of how much of like the psyop stuff was done against cigarettes.
Nah,
Um,
I mean,
but
for cigarettes, really.
well, I mean, I understand the way that we started making them was different, and they put a bunch of shit in there. But, um,
What are you talking about? As opposed like cancer rates or like what do you think? What are they skeptical about?
well, no, it like they're skeptical of like, do I really want like my son doing this? But it's just it's not like like that like
You said
big of a
psyop though. Like, what do you like? What's a psyop of
no,
cigarettes?
because you like you know how like the whole narrative like you see like it's just it's very anti-smoke or like you always see ads about like you can quit and all take this and all that and all I mean they still want you on nicotine right so they give you a bullshit nicotine patch um but they you know how like it's just like they keep people it's just like smoking is like a mortal sin.
Well, I mean, it came from doctors recommending cigarettes and like the research of it being swept under the rug. So it didn't start like it literally started from a place of praise, and then it took years and years for that to unwind and realize, oh, that's probably not fucking true. These are awful for you. So I don't know how it was a side because it started off from a great place.
Yeah,
Like
well,
it was the status quo for a while.
I mean, like even if they are, I mean, I'm sure that like I'm not saying they're good for you, but even if they are like whatever, like I honestly think that that's better to do that than like smoke weed or do some of these other drugs. I mean, I know a lot of
There's
people.
no way smoking weed is worse than smoking cigarettes.
Are
There's
you
no way.
kidding me? Yeah, for like your just
Yeah.
average life, like like just your day-to-day life, that is not good for you to smoke weed.
You think if Cheech and Chong smoked cigarettes all their life that they'd be still alive right now?
Who is that?
Oh my god. References. Like they made stoner movies. They're just these two famous potheads, and this all like the person is like Snoop Dogg. Their personality is weed.
Oh, well, that no, no, like I'm not saying like you die quicker from weed. That's not the point. It's just like the way that it affects like your relationships and your day-to-day life. Like it's just it's not conducive to a healthy lifestyle. Whereas like I mean of course cigarettes can kind of get to that point if you're doing it all the time, but it's just I just don't feel like if someone like gives me a cigarette, it is fun. But like someone gives me like offers weed, like I have to absolutely say no. That's just not a good idea.
I thought you smoke weed.
I no, I mean I used to a couple times, but it's not no, I don't do it anymore.
Oh, I don't know. I'd rather people smoke weed around me than cigarettes. I cannot stand the
Are
fucking
you
smell of
kidding me? I think
cigarettes.
cigarettes
I
smell
hate it.
so much better than weed, dude.
So I guess it's not really the smell so much. It's just like it's so fucking like I can't explain it. It's just like I don't feel choked out when people smoke weed around me. I feel fucking choked out when people smoke cigarettes, and like I hate all the shit fucking lingers. I used to date someone that smoked cigarettes, so like this is just their breath was off. Like oh, dude, so cigarettes have always just been fucking gross to me, no matter how I've been around them. But I'm just glad that people. I'm glad that everyone vapes now because at least this shit doesn't smell awful.
Oh well, that shit's just cringe.
Well, yeah, of course it's cringe. I don't fucking do either, but I'm saying
That's
I'd
like
rather
the
people vape around me than smoke cigarettes.
that's like the worst bullshit vaping.
What vape?
Yeah.
I'm sure yeah, all the chemicals that are in that bullshit that you're inhaling. I mean, you're not supposed to inhale anything. Like your lungs are not supposed to be intaking any sort of substance.
Right, I figured that much. But back to just my opinion on cigarettes. It's just the actual buzz is nice. It you know, it's relaxing and it's just if there's someone offers me one, sure. But um I just don't feel that craving of like, oh, I need to go and like buy a pack of cigarettes, dude.
Yeah, that's good.
Also, I like the way that they aesthetically look. They just look cool.
I think cigars look cooler than cigarettes too. I don't know. I've always just associated cigarettes with just like white trash or like just fucking at least
Yeah,
menthols. Like
they
I've always hated everyone that I've ever known that really likes smoking cigarettes. I fucking hated. So I've always associated cigarettes with just like unintelligent, fucking rambunctious white trash.
yeah, I
I don't know
think
if this is where we're from, but like fuck.
yeah, I think that kind of ruined it, but I still like the kind of like that really cool kind of underrated like 40s aesthetic of you know like the 40s New York is really cool and like the 20s too. Of course like I like to wear nice clothes and it looks cool.
Yeah, definitely was the gentleman's pipe, but I don't
Oh, I
know. I
love
mean,
pipes. I'm gonna get one.
pipes. Of course, you get a fucking pipe.
Yeah, pipes are cool. They also
You gonna
like
get a cork one?
Well, I don't know what I'm gonna get, but I think pipes are the coolest ones.
They're kind of the same premise as cigars, right? You just puff on them.
Yeah, it's the same like category of smoking as because cigarettes you want to inhale them because that's like you're trying to get that buzz, but it's like yeah, exactly. Like pipe is just you just suck on it. Um, yeah, and it's just like it's about the taste and like the aroma and everything.
Yeah. See, if I did smoke, I would probably do cigars or pipes because like I don't give a shit about inhale. Like I don't want to inhale this shit.
Yeah, because I think the part about inhaling it ruins the experience of like when I don't, there's just this really cool feeling of like the smoke, like when it's in your mouth and like you let it linger there and like it comes out like through your nose. It feels really cool.
Yeah.
Whereas like when you inhale, like it totally like you're not even thinking about that.
I don't know. It's just really fucking dumb because everyone always like calls me lame for it, but then all they ever complain about is how they can't stop smoking. So it's just like, figure your fucking shit out before you.
Oh yeah, exactly. Well,
So fucking. The people that smoke cigarettes are so annoying.
um,
I honestly don't know which one is worse, the weed personality or the cigarette personality. There's there's fucking cons a mile long for both of them, but like,
I mean,
goddamn, dude,
I hate
people
a
that
lot
smoke
of people
cigarettes are
who.
really fucking insufferable.
I also just hate people who drink. I mean, I just hate people that their
Yeah,
whole fucking personality is like a substance.
yeah,
You know,
drinkers are really fucking weird too.
like coffee people and because like it's just like I'm saying with like cigarette people. It's like I like cigarettes, but it just is like I like coffee. You know, they just ruin it.
It's like they're either annoying or pretentious if they smoke cigarettes.
Right. But I've never done hookah.
I think it's the same. I don't think you inhale hookah either. I've been in hookah bars. Actually, I do like the smell of hookah.
But
The
what is
smell of hookah
hookah?
is nice. It's like flavored tobacco discs or something.
Huh.
I think I know it's different, like because when you go to the menu, they have different flavors that you puff on. Um, so that's kind of the experience of that. I don't think you actually inhale it,
Hmm.
but it does
Interesting.
smell nice.
Yeah.
I do like the smell of burning tobacco, but I hate the smell of cigarettes. Whatever other bullshit they put in there, it fucking smells awful.
Yeah, they do smell worse than cigars. I'll give you that.
Yeah, they
Um,
do. Besides like furniture and glass and plastic, they do make guitars look cool. When you smoke around them, they kind of the yellowing looks sick on guitars.
oh, really? Yeah.
But other than that, it makes everything look worse.
Yeah. Oh, I
But
forgot. We literally watched The Shining, and we were supposed to talk about that.
that's right, the Stanley Kubricks.
Is that still fresh in your head?
Yeah,
Okay. So, if you don't know at this point, because I mean, okay, honestly, like if you don't know what The Shining is about at this point, like, bro, what are you doing? But for those of you who don't know, The Shining is a movie from 1980 about this family who is chosen for a job to be the caretakers of this hotel in like the mountains of Colorado, where they leave during certain months of the year, and they don't like that they leave during like the deep cold winter, and they come back in like May, right? And then a bunch of shit goes down at the hotel. It's a very classic horror movie. It's really good. Um, now, Jason, what did you think of The Shining? Because you had never
I
seen it,
like it.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those movies I've always wanted to see, just never had the opportunity to. I
Right.
don't know too many people that are a fan of um, like that style of horror, just like cinema in general. My dad likes horror movies, but he's very selective of the stuff that he likes.
I
He does
am
like
too,
Stephen
yeah.
King though, but I don't know if he's never talked about this movie, so I don't know if he likes it or not. But I do
Yeah.
like Stanley Kubrick's movies. I like how artful they are.
Oh
I do
yeah.
like the Descent into Madness stories too.
Oh yeah.
What's actually kind of funny was after I watched the movie, I looked up a bunch of facts about it because I know there's some weird auras surrounding this one, and I actually
Yes,
like it
yes.
less after reading what I like, especially like the stuff with Stephen King. Because like Stephen King wasn't really a fan of the movie.
Yeah,
Um,
I because I know the I don't know how much the actual bulk of the movie is different, but I know that the ending is different, which that's what really pissed him off. Because,
yeah,
obviously in the I don't know if wait, did you read about what happened? Because
I might have, but I don't. What are you referring to?
so you know how in the end, like Jack freezes and then Wendy and Danny escape. Um,
Yeah.
but in the book, Jack actually gets out of the demonic possession and he becomes good again and he escapes with them. And then um Stephen King thought that like went like it totally went against his message, and that's why I got pissed off. I mean, there's other stuff here and there,
Yeah.
and then of course, uh, maybe we could watch it at some point. He made his own version of the movie, which
Stephen
apparent,
King did?
yeah, you didn't know about that.
No, I
Um,
didn't.
no, he made like a made for TV version of it, and
Oh, that's
apparently
right. He did do
it
that.
is
Yeah, 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 yeah.
really bad. Um, So yeah, but
Oh,
I'm interested to
Stevie.
check that out just to, and I actually would be interested to read the book too, just to get the full perspective.
I do actually. That is one thing that the movie has made me want to read the book. But I think like the ending thing, I could see why he's pissed off. Also, I read that he basically had a bunch of notes for the script and they were all ignored. So I'm sure that really pissed him off too. But the one
Yeah,
criticism that he had that actually makes a lot of sense that I kind of felt when I was watching the movie, but I didn't really realize it was he didn't think that Jack Nicholson was a right person to play that part. Mainly
you.
because I
Oh,
think I can't
okay.
remember
Yeah,
the other movies that he was in was also he was the bad guy. So I think like in his mind when you start off watching The Shining, because Stephen King wanted to be like a normal guy that you're rooting for, and then like his descent into madness was to be a little bit more shocking. But from the moment you see Jack Nicholson on the screen, you can kind of tell he's already unhinged. Just by his mannerisms, so that part I could, but I don't know if I noticed that was because I
no,
already
I
knew
I didn't
that
really.
he was the bad guy. So like me knowing that is just like I could see him like even from when he was in that meeting in the first part of the movie. Like I could tell that like yeah he's a little bit fucking kooky and he's probably capable of doing some shit. So that Stephen King wanted to have do not that apparent.
Really, I didn't really. I mean, I just kind of saw like that family is just. I mean, other than of course like the schizophrenic, like demonically possessed son, like
Yeah.
they just kind of like the way they look, their manner, they just kind of seem like regular kind of like not exactly pretty people, but they're just kind of regular kind of Americans, like the both world like World War II kind of vibe. Um, like that's just what I really like. They didn't seem like actors who should be like the lead role. Like they didn't seem like they're not very charming looking people. And
Well, I
that
mean, I know, but besides, I think Jack Nicholson just has a shifty, fucking psychosis to him. So like, he just plays deranged characters too well. So I think that's why, like, when I watched him again, like, I didn't get that sense of deterioration, even though that was the whole theme of the movie, because I already thought that he was just crazy to begin with, but he was just being more revealed as time goes on, as opposed to being possessed by the hotel that they're staying in.
yeah.
Um,
Um
but it still was a good movie. I also read a really funny one. There was a lot of conspiracy theories saying that this was Stanley Kubrick's apology for faking the moon landing. Like, he put a bunch of clues in this movie.
No, I haven't heard about that one, but that doesn't surprise me that because like people have come up with like so many ideas of like what this movie's about. I mean, I don't think any of them get it right, but um I don't know
What do
like
you think it's about?
um I really watching Jay Dyer's analysis about it actually really helped me think of it in this way like and I should actually link that video in the description, but it's mainly a critique of Americanism and about demonic possession, right? I think the demonic possession is pretty obvious, but it's a critique of
Like a critique in our account of what we think about demonic possession? Is that what you're saying?
no, like it's just about how demonic possession works. Um,
Oh,
not like our understanding of it, just like this is how it happens. Like, just this is a case study of people getting demonically possessed. Um, but I mean, like I said, that point's just kind of like obvious because it's like a horror movie, right? But what it really is it's a critique of Americanism and like the American elite and like the New World Order. Um, because like when you see, and it's like, and it also like that ties in with like the breakdown of the family and how like they're dysfunctional and everything because like Jack is just like so obsessed with like his career, like his big break, like like the boomer, like you know like the classic, like like he just doesn't care about his family. That like he kind of hates them actually because they're getting in the way of his
Yeah.
like his dream, like to become like a star, like he's like a writer,
Yeah.
and there's that and but what I really like about it is like you don't think of that about these tropes even being there. They did it so naturally well. um because sometimes those things can be kind of played really cheesily and it's annoying. um
I don't know. I mean, I feel like any movie or most movies that come out are a stab at American cultural fucking isms. So I don't know. I
but
think
I
it's
was
kind of a
getting
cop
at
out
like
because it also was made a long ass time ago. So like, regardless if it was a trope or not, like people just did think that way back then. So whether it was a social commentary on it,
right
like that's almost
but
every movie is a take on that.
right but what I was but like the what was it, yeah, so it's like I said, it's also like just a critique of the New World Order and how things like operate, right? But also a lot of people don't really get the elite vibes, which really surprises me because people are always like, "Oh, like what is this? Like this mysterious? Like how is this ever at the hotel? Like and all this." I'm like, it's probably just the evil spirits from probably like some. I mean, because there's a bunch of references to like the Native Americans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
um I mean, I know like left leaning types would say like, oh, it's because of like the legacy of like the the colonization, all that. And of course, like I don't think, but regardless, like that there's some bad spirit or whatever, whether it's like a spirit that's resenting being colonized or if it's just an evil spirit from like paganism or whatever it is, like something's off, right? Like there's this lingering kind of is just like kind of off spirituality to it, right? Because they're in like the mountains in Colorado, and this place is clearly like this hotel is clearly a place that um where a bunch of elites came and did like a bunch of weird like sex cults and just other cults and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like actually surprising that people don't even really see that because it's just they literally mentioned it a bunch like in the beginning of like so who stayed at the hotel is, oh, all the big all the big players from Hollywood, from the like the British thing or whatever. And it's like, yeah, this is clearly a place where people came and did like weird rituals and stuff like that.
Yeah, even if that wasn't even a theme in the movie, you could just assume that like bunch of presidents and high profile people and celebrities that stay
Yeah,
here, like yeah, fucked up shit's probably going down in this hotel.
yeah, and what I was getting at, I guess I just say this just because of like what I value and stuff like that, and like the way I view the world. Like it's also really just about the breakdown of the family and like dads that just like get interested in things other than like taking care of their family, right? So then like he's literally willing to, like murder his family to be part of the elite, cult world. Um, because he just can't stand how like because he just wants to be, he's like a writer, he's trying to get that Hollywood dream, right? And then and then he just views his family as just like a burden and like a an obstacle, and like it's just pissing him off, and you could just feel that resentment in him, and that like it's just building up and up and up until he has like when he's in the ballroom and everything, and then the butler gives him the green light, right, to kill him. And I'm just like, yeah, I think it's just about like elite Hollywood circles and politicians, right? Just the global elite and how that works.
Yeah,
and how they're
the
all
theme of
like
elitism is when the
they're all
butler
evil.
was
Yeah,
describing how he corrected his children for misbehaving by just killing them, and that's like
yeah,
the
yeah,
whole
yeah.
code of gentlemanly conversation, the way that they talk about, you know, just heinous acts like it's nothing. Yeah,
Right, because it's like the way they speak is actually really elegant, right? And that's what I actually like about elitism, but it's about like, malicious things.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, it's essentially what I got out of it was the breakdown of the family and the furthering of like the new world order of like elite sex cult stuff.
yeah.
Um,
Especially when he, wants to fucking, he was gonna, what he thought was a beautiful woman, he was gonna, fuck in the bathroom, and it being like a gross old, decaying zombie looking lady that was laughing at him. So it's just the deterioration into sexual deviancy as opposed to being with your family or
yeah,
like infidelity in general.
right, and how there's actually I don't know if Stanley Kubrick has actually confirmed this, but there's a lot of people that think that, I mean, I'm sure you'd agree with me that Jack molested Danny. And that's part of the reason why he's like demonically possessed and like is just an unstable child.
It
Um,
could be pretty prevalent. Yeah, it could be.
yeah, I mean, I got a lot of those vibes when, he's in the room with him alone and he's
Yeah.
trying to get his like his toy or something. He's like, "Come here. I want to talk to you for a little bit." And he just sits down like that kind of creeped me out.
Which and that's actually kind of funny because I'm sitting there watching like that shit makes me uncomfortable. But I mean, what it was true was how parents showed affection to their kids like that back in the day. Like parents would not do that now.
But actually, the thing that was interesting about that when he actually is like hugging him, I wasn't weirded out by that. Like that actually, I was like, oh, hey, it's actually like the one bit of this movie where it's like warm. Like, hey, a father loves his son. But then he like kind of, he's not hugging him anymore, and he just starts doing that weird smile, and he's like,
Yeah.
hey, dad, and he's like, what? And he's clearly you could tell he's just becoming like just just totally possessed and like that yeah I
Yeah.
was like
I mean,
he's gone.
it would make sense if it was falling like on the elite or on the elitism kind of trope because you know what the elites love to do to children.
Yeah, no, exactly, and that's why I believe in it more.
Yeah.
And of course, like it's just like and I'm sure Danny, because his dad did that to him, he's just gonna do that to his son, and the cycle repeats and continue. It's just like how like drug dealers who have children, it's just like their parents like their kids become in that same lifestyle, and it just begets more, and and that's just how the natural cycle works. Um,
Yeah.
because like I don't really know if like what the actual stats are, but I'm sure like most people who do abuse were abused themselves.
Yeah, that's pretty high. I mean, I don't think
Right,
you'd have
yeah,
to have a psychology degree to fucking figure that one out. But hurt people are hurt, no matter what the case is.
yeah, yeah, right.
Got to unlearn it.
Yeah, it's very hard, and that's very, very noble if you can actually overcome that. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, because a lot of
Well,
people,
then I guess that'd be weird in terms of like if that was the central theme. So like like as according to like the way that Stanley Kubrick envisioned it versus the way that Stephen King envisioned it in the book. If in the book he was supposed to go back to being good.
yeah, I can see that. But actually, I just like that that better in the movie of just like no, he's just possessed and he's fucked up and he just totally sold his soul to like the corporate like Hollywood just elite structure.
Yeah, which is funny because I've like after doing a bunch of reading and like apparently Stanley Kubrick was such a fucking dick and he always made people fucking do excruciatingly long takes. Like I think like pretty much made Shelley Duvall break down so many
Oh yeah,
times.
she was like honestly abused. It's pretty sad.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny when directors try to portray this criticism when they're fucking actively participating in it.
Yeah, that's the irony of it. That's like the ultimate irony. Whereas I'm
Yeah,
like Kubrick, like how can you write this like this really well written, script and everything, and then you still do this at the end of the day?
Yeah, I think
Um,
like the scene where she was
well,
swinging the bat at him. I think it won the Guinness Book of World Records for the most amount of takes for a single shot or something like that, or something insane.
was that the 127 time?
It might have been.
Yeah, I
I don't
forget.
know.
I know that's the famous thing is they did a shot took 127 takes, but
Yeah,
um,
yeah. But it was crazy. I learned a lot about him. He's scared of flying. Fucking so meticulous. And he made the old I can't remember the guy's name. The cook, the guy that played the cook. He made him cry because he made him do a line fucking several hundred times or whatever.
which wait the cook.
The black guy. He played the cook.
Oh yeah, Scatman Crothers is his name.
Yeah, Scatman. It was some bluesy name. I can't remember, but that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Um,
yeah, the funniest shit was him being blamed for faking the moon landing, and this was his apology. And like I don't remember the standout pieces of evidence, but the one which was funny was Danny's little fucking NASA rocket sweater.
that's
Like
the
what?
that's the great proof.
Well, I'm sure there's more, but that was the one that stuck out to me as the funniest.
I mean, that's probably just product placement,
I don't know, I guess,
just to
but
just to
I
get the
never knew
movie
that
made.
that people associated him with faking the moon landing.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No, I did not know that.
Well, have you seen 2001: A Space Odyssey?
A long time ago, I think.
Yeah, because that's the reason why people think that. Because a lot
Was
of
that before? Was that before The Shining?
oh yeah, that was like the 1960s. Hold on, 2001: A Space Odyssey came out in not in 2001. It came out in 1968. Yes, I was right.
Damn. I feel like I've seen bits and pieces, but I don't know why did people associate with him faking the moon landing?
Well, because if you see a lot of the shots now, so many of the shots in it have held up so well. Like the effects look so good.
Uh,
So some people are just like, how could it look that real in like 1968? Um,
right.
yeah, so that's and like how could it look that like cinematic and everything? I don't know.
So because of the how well it was shot, they associated him with the one that faked it, but no other reason. Like there's
I'm
no personal evidence or no like accounts of him being there just because the movie was just well
well,
shot.
I don't know. That's just the thing I've heard. I haven't looked into it that much. But that'd actually be an interesting movie to watch because it has a bunch of like the Hal and all those cool things here. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I do want to watch it again fully.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. It's that's the classic like when you're young, it's boring. There's a bunch of monkeys and then the black box. Like what is this? Like and then of course when you watch it now, it's like whoa, this is actually like
Yeah.
really deep. Not like it's like deep man, but like it actually is like it makes you think about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and he does that really well. But he's Stanley Kubrick, I think, is like the perfect balance of like he's artsy and he's also like mainstream. Like he strikes a really good balance, and because there's a lot of movies it's either just like it's too pretentious like art house stuff or it's just like totally corporate like the world is gonna blow up like the guy's gonna blow up the world in a box and then we need to save it and it's like all like like that's like all we have now where like it's like Stanley Kubrick did a really good job striking the balance between that of like a mainstream like schmuck could watch it and also like a more like artsy dude could watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I think David Lynch is kind of in that same category, even though his are a little more outlandish. But
Yeah,
his fan base is fucking atrocious.
his
You know.
right. I don't actually think I've seen any of his movies, but from what I've heard, like he's a little bit more out there, but it's still not
Yeah.
like the point of no return.
Yeah. And I think I was also reading that Kubrick was inspired by Eraserhead to like shoot some elements of The Shining
Yeah,
in that
I wanna
way.
watch that. That seems like a movie that I'd really like.
Yeah, I actually do like it as much as pretentious as he tries to be. I actually do enjoy Eraserhead. it's weird and it's a fever dream. So it's cool to me. I like the creepy elements of it. Um,
Yeah, it sounds like The Shining.
well, no, it's definitely weirder than The Shining
No,
for sure. Like
I could be, but I
the
was just saying like the like just kind of fever dream ethereal stuff. Just a lot of
this one you really it's a really stronger element of it when you watch it. Like it's not even like, oh, this is the, like you can totally like you feel it.
yeah. Um well, back to the Shining. I thought it was so creepy, that kind of like, I don't know if it was like some Native American thing, like that kind of like anytime like a shocking thing would happen, it would play that kind of like shaker thing, like like I can't make the noise. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the maracas kind of thing.
Yeah, that had to be some kind of
Yeah,
Native American thing, right?
probably.
Yeah, that sounded so creepy, and it made it unique because like most movies like just, like wouldn't have anything like that. It always just has like the like the stock horror sound effects. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's a bunch of other like crazy like esoteric symbols in this movie. Like I'd actually recommend you watch the Jay Dyer analysis and the stuff he brings up of like the meaning of like the twins that he always sees and all it. There's just a bunch of stuff that's very interesting. Um,
Yeah, what was the meaning of the twins? Because that seems to be a pretty prominent focal point of the movie.
yeah, I'd love to say that I remembered, but I really don't. But I remember hearing it. I was like, whoa! Like it kind of like blew my mind. But um, it's just a lot of like Hollywood has what Jay Dyer has actually really showed me well is that like Hollywood has always had like a bunch of different like esoteric stuff in their movies and stuff that they want to like promote.
Yeah.
It's just not always. It's just it's very implicit. And of course, like the normie watching this movie is just constantly fixated on like the stuff that like is not the point, you know. Um, of just because like I said, I'm sure you had heard like a bajillion because people have speculated about what this movie means like forever, and it's just like, oh, I don't, what is it? And it honestly, like, it's not that hard to understand if you like you see the world in the way I do, right? I know that sounds like pretentious as fuck, but it's true. Like, it's just it's not very hard to understand that like this whole presence that's at the hotel and all these things of like, oh, with all these time, like, was he there in the photo? And all this, I'm just like, all it is, it's it's just that was a place where like elites and on the like just did a bunch of like occult sex rituals and other stuff, right? And just a bunch of demonic stuff, and they summoned a bunch of evil spirits, you know? And that's really all, like that's all you really need to know. And then of course when you have
Yeah.
that understanding, um then everything makes sense. Like you're not constantly fixated about like the universe of like The Shining and how does it work? Like what is the origin? Like what does it mean? Like those who can shine. Like what does that mean? And it's like, bro, like it's just you're not you're missing the point. You
Yeah.
know, like how people always try to think of it like that's what like new movies kind of like really ruin is that like people always have to think of things as like world building, you know, like in the Tolkien kind of way, which I mean he's like kind of the only one who does it really well, but um where it's just like the lore and it's like the history of like this world, like the world of The Shining, like the world of Star Wars, you know.
Yeah, and that's why most movies suck because they try to.
Yeah, it's
I
just
mean, it's all for like trying to make more movies and more money. It's why they're trying to force a universe down your throat, but it never fucking goes well because you can't inorganically create a universe, just like you can't inorganically make a show that's bingeable. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. I mean, the problem I have with just like looking at the deep synopsises of the the themes of movies, I don't know, it's sometimes it takes the enjoyment out of it because the whole point of you're watching a movie is supposed to be just you're receiving sensory information. If it makes you think about something more introspectively, that's really what it's designed to do. Or if it strikes, some sort of motivational emotion within you to create something,
Right.
that's also the purpose with it. But I don't know, like the people that try to really go hand in fist, philosophically analyzing a movie. Sometimes it just gets a little played out.
Yeah, I really do want you to watch Jay Dyer's video of it. He just made it really interesting. It just brought up a bunch of things because sometimes like I don't always notice these things. So sometimes it can honestly serve as just like an anecdote to see. Um, just remind you of things that maybe you didn't see on the first hand, or you weren't really thinking about that, and then you could watch it
Yeah.
again with that same kind of with the new kind of mindset, and it can help a lot. Um, yeah, but um, but yeah, and honestly, I think when you look at it through that lens, it's just it honestly makes it like just even more terrifying, because like most of these people that like analyze in the way that I described, just like the world built, like they have no concept of like any of this shit like being real, because of course like the way they view the world is like there's like no spirits, bro. It's like that's like it's just like science, man, and like they can't like conceptualize that this stuff is like actually like in our world, like there are evil like spirits, like there are demons out there, that like make drive people to do this like crazy kind of shit, Um
Yeah.
yeah. And I mean that's also true of like, certain right-leaning people cuz like they also kind of view it in the same way of just like, oh, well, you see it's just like the world is just like, like talkers and doers and stuff like that. I'm like, well, like I guess, but there's also some fucking demons, right? that kind of influence people's decisions sometimes.
Have you ever had any extra? I was gonna say extraterrestrial and paranormal experiences.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
What did you have?
Well, luckily it didn't last very long. Um, so I was sleeping, and then I don't know, like I don't know if it was the devil or who or what it was. Like I just saw this like it was like a face, but it wasn't a face, and I don't know. I just felt like my body's kind of being like like it's not like I don't think I was levitating, but it just I don't know. I just felt like I was being pulled by this face, whatever it was, and it just felt like the void, you know.
Yeah.
And I kind of just like cried out, like I just yelled, and it wasn't there anymore. Um,
Would you cry? Did you just make no words? You just screamed out.
yeah, just like in agony. That I mean that thankfully it's probably just because of all the blessings that my mom does in this house and all the prayers, because it really helps. 'Cause a lot of people don't realize they have a bunch of. I know you don't view the world like this, but a lot of people just they have a bunch of, even if they don't even realize, like just a bunch of curses in their house and just bad things that invite bad things into their households. Um, but I mean, everyone was sleeping, so I'm glad I didn't wake anyone up. But I was.
I had a similar
Did
experience.
you? Okay, yeah, because
I never.
I know it's not like a unique thing. It's just because I think most people have had kind of encounters with that. Because that's why I'm like, okay, at this point, like if you're out here and you're telling me there's no demons, like what are you doing? Like, come on, it's a cope. There's totally demons out here.
Demons.
Demons.
Um,
Yeah, it's
I've
fuck
never. I
demons.
mean, obviously shows like Ghost Hunters and all that shit's bullshit,
Well,
but
yes, that's
um,
that's obvious.
fucking the little gadgets they make to talk to ghosts is so retarded.
Dude, we're
But
gonna hunt some ghosts.
fucking dumb. But
Dude, the
everyone I've ever talked to says that they've had some sort of paranormal experience, and the only thing I don't even know if this was a. It might have just been chalked up to I was half asleep. Same thing. I was on a family vacation in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee, and we went to like this cabin resort place. And I remember I was in bed, and I was really tired, and I was laying down, and I had some sort of dream. It was like one of those. I thought I was awake, but I probably was sleeping, and I had some sort of. I can't really describe it. Like I didn't see anything, I didn't hear anything. I felt like a female presence, just That's all it was, but I was
Mm,
sleeping, and I like
mm.
immediately started levitating. Like I felt like physically being like pulled to the ceiling, and then like it scared me, and I fucking like jolted awake, and I swear I like hit the bottom of the bed.
Wow, so we had a similar experience.
Yeah, that's what I wasn't joking. We legitimately had a
Yeah.
similar experience, but
Um,
it wasn't like anything concrete. Like it was one of those things that I probably was sleeping because I was really tired, but I don't think it was a like form of sleep paralysis because I've never had sleep paralysis, and
yeah,
it
it's
wasn't
never
like I
been
was
that
like
bad.
bound to
Yeah.
my bed and I couldn't move and shit. It literally just happened so quick. But it legitimately felt like I was already awake, and then I like levitated, and then I slammed back onto the bed, and it woke. But I think, like I said, I was half asleep, and it just woke me up. Like what the fuck? Like like that feeling when you feel like you're falling in your dream, and you wake
Yes.
up like you're tipping. It was similar to that, but it was like slowly raising up as
Yeah.
opposed to like drastically falling backwards.
Yeah, I think I was more awake than you were. I think you had like
Yeah,
slightly more. All right, I'm ready. Yep. So
it wasn't a paralysis though
we were
because
just
like
talking about
I wasn't
sleep
lucid.
paralysis. I think is leaning more
What'd you
into
do?
that because I definitely I felt awake when this happened.
I mean, I don't know what all sleep paralysis encompasses. I just know that people claim that they are fully awake but they can't move, and then some people have
Right.
hallucinations of demons or whatever. Um, but I don't know if it like I think honestly like I was sleeping and I was just so delirious because I was really tired, so like I couldn't tell if I was awake or sleeping. Because sometimes I've had innocuous dreams of me. I've had dreams of me in my bed, and I can't tell if I'm awake or not. I've had
Hmm.
those dreams sometimes. Um,
Is that what an innocuous dream is?
I mean innocuous in like the fashion of like nothing is weird, like there's no merging of worlds. Like
Oh
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
I'm literally like in my room and I'm dreaming about being in my bed trying to sleep. Like sometimes that's happened. It's really stupid. Fucking my
Wow.
dreams are insane. Um,
Yeah, that's boring.
yeah. I have a lot of anxiety dreams too, which is so irritating. Like I'm always late for something, or
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
like that feeling where I haven't been in school for like so many years, and I'm sleeping, and I'm like, fuck, I haven't been to class in like a month. I'm gonna fail the test, kind of shit. I always have those stupid ass dreams.
Yeah, I've had that or like I've had a couple where where like I whacked off in public and I'm just like,
Whacked
oh
off.
dang it.
No, not again.
Yeah, and everyone's like, bruh.
Will, come
I'm just,
on.
I'm just like, "Oh, what am I what's wrong? I'm like,
The urge
what?
is so strong.
Have you ever had that dream?
No, I've never dreamed that I jerked off in public. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, okay, well that's good actually, because like I literally wake up and I'm like, oh, that wasn't real. Oh, okay. Do you have like are your dreams like do you have the dreams where it's like, oh, that wasn't real, thank God.
Sometimes, and sometimes
Okay.
I feel like I'm never like I don't really have lucid dreams. Sometimes it feels like I'm watching myself like a movie, but I can make some commands sometimes. So there was one time where I was
Hmm.
dreaming that I was at my girlfriend's house and I need to wake up to go to work. And so I'm in the dream, and then like I'm realizing I'm walking to my car in my dream, and I'm realizing that shit's fucking weird. I'm looking around and like houses aren't where they're supposed to be. And so and for some reason I'm just like, all right, and I laid down on the concrete and I closed my eyes because I knew it wasn't real. Then I opened mine in real life. It was really fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like so I'll have dreams like that where like I don't know, my subconscious is telling me like this is a stupid dream, I need to get out of it.
Hi, bro. Yeah, gotta go.
Yeah, so it's just dumb shit. Like my dreams are they're just dumb.
Hmm.
I don't have cool adventures in my dreams.
Yeah. I have that too. I kind of said everything.
um, but yeah, I've had no extraterrestrial encounters. I've had no paranormal encounters.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Oh, that's good. I mean, you don't want that.
I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool, but because like I also feel like the power of belief is a lot stronger than actually having like shit, universally happens, or not universally, just having just happen to you. So I don't know. I feel like if
Hmm.
I ever like had an encounter, I really wouldn't give a shit that much. I'd be more intrigued by it than like freaked out. So I feel like it wouldn't really enter my life like that.
Right.
So I don't know.
I see what you're saying.
I think the power belief is really strong when it comes to, you know, encounters you can't explain.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
But
I just totally get that vibe with like the Appalachians, like the Wendigo. Like I honestly think that shit is real.
see, I've gone hiking a lot. I haven't like camped overnight at too many places, but I've been near the mountains a lot. I've never obviously you hear like noises and shit about animals you're not sure of what they are, but that's pretty normal in any wilderness you go to. But I don't get
True.
like a
True.
creepy like people have said that people have said that they get a really ancient creepy vibe from being in the Appalachians, but I've never experienced it ever.
Hmm. Yeah, I have a buddy who he tells me he swears he saw one. And he's not like a crazy person. I mean he's sane as far as I'm
I thought
concerned.
that was more of like a
Like
Southwest or like a Plains legend. That wasn't like an East Coast thing.
really, I thought it was an East Coast. It's like a West Virginia thing.
The only thing I heard about West Virginia is the Mothman as
The
their local
Mothman.
cryptid. I don't know. I don't know if the
Well, I
Wendigo though,
mean, I'm
because I know it's
I
a
would
very
probably
it's like because people always associate it with just like with like all Native Americans, like they're all one thing, but it's a specific tribe's legend. But I don't think they're from around here.
yeah, I thought it was like the tribe that was in Virginia, like
No, let me see.
the Algon. Yeah, look that up because I do want to know that.
Where does the Wendigo come from? Originate from Native American folklore, specifically Algonquian. So So
Algonquin, yeah, okay.
Minnesota's Northwoods, Forest of the Great Lakes, Central Canada.
Ah, okay. Then what would we have out here?
I don't
The
know.
Iroquois?
I think it's the Iroquois. Yeah. Um, the first known written mention of the Wendigo appears in 1636 by a French Jesuit missionary living in the Algonquin people in what is now Quebec. Yeah, so it's like the Midwest North. It's not around here.
The Wendigo.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I know that
Yeah, what would we have here? Like, where's Bigfoot supposed to be? Is that like that's like west, isn't it?
yeah, out west, I suppose. I know a lot of stuff around specifically Virginia is like ghost stories in general, not really like local legends of monsters because there's a lot of history here, so that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Um, I I kind of believe in the Yeti.
the Yeti.
Yeah, like I guess I don't really know if it's like the way that we like depict it in pop culture, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's some like beast that is just totally unlike anything we see like where we live geographically like in the mid like I wouldn't be surprised if there is some sort of like crazy beast that lives in like the Himalayas with like all the Tibetan Buddhism and all
Yeah,
that. Like I totally get that vibe. Um
I
yeah,
don't.
because I'm pretty sure it comes from like those Tibetan Buddhist like folklore and all that.
I mean, that's where all this shit starts. Is from ancient folklore, and people just have that in the back of their
Yeah.
mind. They'll go see something in the snowstorm that looks like a Yeti. I don't know until they find something. I don't. I'm sure there's. I mean, there are animals that have been thought to be extinct, and there probably is a couple out there roaming around that we can't find. Um, there's some like
Yeah.
Australian like dog thing that I think that it was rumored to be extinct, but they found a couple. So I don't know, but I mean, for an animal that big and that I don't know. It's a little
Yeah.
far fetched, but I don't know. It's cool. I like
Well, I
the
guess
lust of cryptids.
uh, yeah, I guess like what draws me more to like the cryptids could really be true is like the or all of these beasts is because like the Bible, I mean obviously I believe the Bible is true. So and like the Bible like talks about like beasts and stuff like that that were on the earth and and whatnot, and like all of the like the Nephilim and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I believe all that was real. So
You also
it
think that
very well
giants
could
from
be
the earth at one
connected there.
point? A lot of people state the Bible for that
Yes.
too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um, I guess like I don't really know exactly how like they looked, but I mean they were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's giants. There I don't know if there's dragons. I mean there might have been something like the dragon. Just because yeah, just it talks about a bunch of crazy creatures like the behemoth. We still don't even really know exactly what that even was. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. This it's just so cool. A bunch of that stuff about the Bible that gets like kind of overlooked.
That's why I'm so fascinated to like read all the extra stuff that's in there that never got published. I just want to go into the fucking vault. That's all I want to do.
There's the Ethiopian has the church has the biggest canon. They also they claim to have the Ark of the Covenant.
Oh my god, of course I do. Dude, fucking
Yeah.
speaking, I forgot to mention this. I was watching, I wasn't watching it, but my girlfriend's dad was watching this fucking documentary about how the Pope visited this one city in Milan that had it was a painting of the face of Jesus, but people thought it was like the Shroud of Turin
Mm.
thing where it was like his, like, I don't know how they could think this. It literally looks like a fucking painting, but it like he blessed it as a holy artifact or whatever, and people still think that it was, but like it took researchers like like I think like 20 years to figure out that like, oh yeah, there's pigment in the fucking whatever material, linen, cloth, woven fiber thing that was. But you look at it, it looks like a fucking painting, and it's just like I was laughing my ass off because it took them that long to figure out that it wasn't natural. Like, what the fuck, dude?
That happens
That's
sometimes.
so insanely
um,
stupid. I
I had
don't get
never
it.
heard about that one. Yeah, but
What the fuck was this thing called?
yeah. Where like is the Shard of Turin like
That is a fake because
is
it's carbon dated to be around medieval times, I think.
okay,
Yeah, so that one has
okay.
been proven not real. But I want to send you this.
I haven't looked like too much. Like I haven't looked into that very much.
I mean, it's really hard. I mean, the problem with like I know, and this is not even like religious versus secular. Like the Catholic Church has flat out like basically lied about artifacts before. Like it's not uncommon for them to do that. Um,
Like what?
like they had, I think I don't remember if this was in a movie or if this is actually true, but they claim to have part of the crown of thorns or something like that.
Oh, they do.
I don't. Again, like just the validity of
I
that is
saw
just
it. Yeah.
so hard to just believe.
Well, it's there.
I know it's there, but the fact that if it was actually the fucking crown, you know what I mean? Like they just have so much shit in there that I don't know if it's authentic. And they, like I said, they were touring the Shroud of Turin for a while as an actual, as the actual fucking covering in his burial tomb. It's like what in the world?
Yeah, they have the. I mean, you can actually see like there's the in one of the churches in Rome. Some of the stuff they do say is like is just a replica. Like they actually have the robes that Jesus wore, but they say it was as a replica, right? But the stuff that is legit that they have is the yeah they have some of the pieces of the crown of thorns. They also have they have some pieces of the cross. They also have they have the pillar that Christ was scourged at. They also have the steps that were in Pontius Pilate. Like they literally transported the steps. Like Constantine got them from Jerusalem. Like they transported the steps that Jesus walked up to go see Pontius Pilate. Um, and they brought it to one of the popes. I don't remember if it was his palace or something, but it was like at the top of the steps where it is in Rome. It was where they cited the Holy of Holies. If you remember what that was, um,
No.
like they made that the stairway to the Holy of Holies.
Again, like I don't know,
Um,
like how, like They have so like if you really think about it, they have so many artifacts of that time. It's like how many of them actually could be real? Like after
That's a
thousands of
fair
years, like
question.
that's
Yeah.
where they end up.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fair question.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sending you the the fuck because you need to see what this fucking thing looks like. Like people saw this and thought like this was the actual face of Jesus. That was I guess they thought it was imprinted on here from whatever, but they clearly couldn't tell that that was painted on there. Just look at this fucking thing. It looks so like unsymmetrical. Like what the...
Well, no, that's a painting.
exactly. That's my point.
That's no, that's just a painting, Jordan.
Exactly. Yes. Thank you. You saw
That
that
that's like
immediately.
that's like Renaissance style art.
Exactly, and people thought that was real, and the Pope like didn't say anything about it. He literally traveled to the fucking whatever bullshit city in Italy or this was, and like blessed it as a holy artifact. Like, bro, what the fuck? What is going on, man? Catholics are just crazy, man. Vatican is just wild shit, and they're just unchecked. Like, what the fuck?
Well, yeah, I mean, they're at the tippy top, the elite.
God, I could just get that vibe. Like when I went to the Vatican, as beautiful as the architecture is and as cool as the paintings are, like I could just tell it has an aura of fraud to it, like of all the shit that they were saying that they had in there. Like there's no fucking way like half that shit's valid. I don't know. Like it just you just kind of get
Well,
that
like
sense when
what?
you're in there.
Like what?
Just every like they had so much. I don't know how to describe it. Like the way they
Seems
set it
legit
up
to
was
me.
like
It's
is like a
just
tourist trap. Like it just like it was
well,
kind of
yeah,
like when I was talking about the
it
Museum of
gets
the
kind of
Bible.
ruined and like it gets kind of well, I see what you're saying. I don't think it's that bad, but like I, it definitely has some sort of like it's corroded by like the modern way that we run things, and it kind of like demystifies it, which I really don't like.
Yeah, that's part of it
Um,
too.
yeah, and the way it's set up can kind of take that away, but I still think the actual things themselves are holy and they're legit. It just
Well, I mean,
it's just kind of been defiled a little
you
bit.
don't know until outside people check it. It's the same thing, and this wasn't a Catholic thing, but like how we're talking about the Dead Sea Scrolls, how they were legitimately thought to be fragments of the Dead Sea Scrolls for like years until they're finally found out to be forgeries. Like I feel like that's
Oh,
half of the
yeah.
artifacts that's in the fucking Vatican.
No, I mean they've done all the checking and stuff like that. Like a big thing. I mean, it's not in the Vatican, but the tilma of Juan Diego with Our Lady of Guadalupe in Mexico,
Yeah.
they have done like extensive like research studying the actual cloak, and they've examined it. Like they can't find any evidence of like strokes or how like a point at which like the art would have like started, right? And that they've literally looked into Our Lady's eyes in like a microscope, and you can literally see like Juan Diego in her eyes. It's actually like insane. And someone literally tried to blow it up.
What the fuck?
Did you know that?
No.
Someone tried to blow it up, and like literally nothing happened to it. Everything around it is just like destroyed except the tilma. It's utterly insane. Like nothing has happened to it.
Why do they try to blow it up just to prove a point or just to show that it has like
I
what was
mean, they're demonically possessed, or they hate Catholics, or both. I don't,
oh
God,
god.
that kind of goes hand in hand. But I really don't know. I mean, I don't even know who did it. It was just some terrorist, right? Um, but it's just so insane. Like, and you see the whole like the patterns in like the actual like her cloak, like Our Lady's cloak. It's just all these constellations that like like we didn't even know what those constellations were until like hundreds of years later, and like they just recognized it then, like much later. It's insane. Like it is literally miraculous.
The funny thing about the Tilma is I've heard and talked to a bunch of people that have because I think it moves around a lot, so you can go see it at different spots. Sometimes it goes on tour. A painting goes on fucking tour, and
Does the Mona Lisa go on tour?
I don't know if it goes on tour. I'm sure it moves to different museums, but I've never
Yeah,
heard
no,
of
it
being another
wasn't
place in.
always in the Louvre.
Yeah, it's always in the Louvre. I don't know if it ever goes to overseas, but I always just think it's funny because every time people they say that when they see the Tilma, they're always like, "Oh, I swear I saw her tear up" or some shit, or like they always think like statues are crying or whatever.
Oh yeah, that happens.
But This is crazy. I don't know, like the fact about holy artifacts. Just I don't know.
That's modernism.
I
It got
guess
your ass.
like we got to find a
It
way to
got
make
your ass.
people worship materialism again.
Well, no, it's just because modernism like ruined the concept of it's just like there's no. It's like the culmination of like shit that like people were saying in like the 1600s, right? Of just like there's no like metaphysics, there's no spirituality.
Yeah,
We got you Catholics, and it's just like, bro, like we get that you hate Catholics, but like that doesn't like disprove the concept of spirituality and like the spiritual forces of good and evil and these miracles that happen because they happen. I mean,
yeah.
you know, um, I mean, you might not like that, but I mean, sorry about it. I don't know what else to say. Um, yeah, but yeah, there's like the tiers, and there's also like, have you seen the Eucharistic miracles at all?
No,
There's times where the host has literally bled, um, and they've actually looked at it in a microscope, and it's literally has the same substance as human blood. And they've looked at the actual host of the bread, and they actually can see like it looks the same as the way our skin looks like when it's you know how I don't know if you ever looked at that through a microscope.
I don't look at
Um,
things through microscopes. I'm not gonna lie.
well, I no, but I don't know if you're familiar with the if you've seen a picture of what it looks like
I
from
might.
like
I
your
don't know. I might have.
right. But yeah, they could see like skin cells in it. It's so cool. There's that, and like there's also like in Louisiana actually, there's been hurricanes, and like literally everything is destroyed, like except like the Mary statue or other statues and stuff like that. Um, it's cool, you know.
Hmm.
I just like just wish people saw it more because I think people are just too. They're just too. I'm not. I'm not trying to sound like in the cliche like sappy way, but a lot of people are just they're just blinded by hate, you know? I just really think they are.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's apparent. Everyone's blinded by hate, no matter what side that they're on.
Yeah,
But
that is yeah,
I don't
but
know. I do know that Tilma has like a bunch of fucking like just mysterious lore that's been placed upon it. But again, I don't know how much it's been double checked by everything else. I don't know. Like
who? Who's this?
the Tilma, the Lady of Guadalupe painting on the cactus fiber shit,
Oh, it's not a painting.
or whatever it is, the dyed pigments on it on a cactus leaf, whatever you call that.
No, it's not like I said, like it just miraculously appeared.
What do you mean just miraculously appeared?
It miraculously appeared. Like it's not painted or anything. Like they haven't found any actual like evidence of like etchings or like the point of like wherever like things started of like a drawing or a painting or anything like that.
So it's just chilling. Just came from who? It just came from nowhere. It's
Yes,
just what the fuck?
yes, it's a miracle. Like
Why? See, and that's the part that I don't understand. Like, why would a miracle come in the
it
form of a
appeared
fucking picture? Like, who? Like,
because it's
I'm not being
something that
like
we can
disrespectful when I'm saying like,
understand.
who gives a
Like
shit? Like, why would a miracle do that? That's what my curiosity lies. Like, what?
well, because yeah, so it appeared out of nowhere. That's the really big thing because that's what makes it a miracle, right? But also it's just it's something that we can see, right? It's how we make like images or how we make sense of the world, right? But so Our Lady had appeared to Juan Diego before, and told him, "I need you to build a church at this location or whatever in I think it was in Mexico City or Tenochtitlan or whatever it was." And he was telling the bishops that, but of course they just thought he was nuts, right? And they're like, why would we believe this guy? And then he unfolds his tilma, and then the image just appears, and then they're just like, okay, no, you convinced us, right? So that's really why it appeared because it's just for like so that they knew he was legit, right? Um, so and of course, if they see it's Our Lady, that's something they recognize and stuff like that. So, because I mean, anything could have appeared. Like it could have been like like a demonic image or something. But then that would just be like the like the inverse of that. Um, but it was just an image because actually when you look at it, Our Lady Guadalupe. Um, I know a lot of the Native Americans died of disease and conquest, but there was still actually quite a bit of Native Americans in the time of Juan Diego that um they just didn't exactly know what to think of like the new like people that came or in their new religion I mean of course that's human nature, right? Um or a lot of them just they didn't really know what was going on, like they're just kind of have information trouble back then. um but Our Lady, actually, when you see her, she's dressed in Aztec clothing, and she's dressed as like an Aztec queen. Um, and there's something I forgot exactly what like on her dress. There's a certain symbol that she's a virgin. That like it made sense to Aztecs. And there's also like you see that like there's a design on her dress that's like centered around her womb. And that's like that also made sense to Aztecs. um right. And then that's what really like it really convinced, like I know a lot of people just, I mean, I know this did happen, like it's just people like, oh well, it was just like Christianity was spread to like Mexico through the sword. And it's like, well, yes, that is true, and like I'm not gonna say that didn't happen, but like another big thing that happened was like this, like Our Lady of Guadalupe, where it actually like showed like she appeared as an Aztec woman, and like up all these indigenous people, like it literally united like the two peoples in an organic way. And like it gave them like like something of Christianity that made sense to them. And then it's like it took something that like the Europeans already knew and made it kind of indigenous, and there's this really organic unity that happened. um which like in other parts of the world, like that just doesn't happen. Like I mean, even with like the English colonization of the Americas and their conflict with the Indians, I mean, you know how that went down.
Yeah.
And obviously I know it's not me just trying to dress it up as like, oh, like this is just innocent, nothing happened here. Like I obviously know that, like, I mean, of course, like atrocities were committed, right? Like that's just happens when two peoples interact with each other. But when you actually look at this, like you kind of start to see like, wow, like maybe this actually was worthwhile, and this was something like unprecedented in human history.
So no one's claimed to paint it. It just magically appeared on a cactus leaf. Like what? Like
Yes. Yeah, on the tilma. Like he didn't like he didn't expect it to be there. It wasn't there, and then he unrolled his tilma. um and the I don't know if it was a rose or some sort of flower that actually literally like physically biologically could not have grown at that time of the year that they were in. That was another big thing that got people were like, well, they were just like, so just like lost for words. But that happened, like the flowers came pouring out of his like of the tilma, and the image was there.
sounds like a Joseph Smith scenario.
No, it doesn't, because Our Lady literally appeared, and the image is like there's nothing in like the Book of Mormon. Like he was just writing that shit down. Like like God didn't actually the words didn't just like appear. Or what does he say? Like it was on the rock or some shit. Like like no one has seen the rock. Like no, it's of course that's bullshit, right? Whereas like this people actually do see it, just in the way that people actually do see the Eucharist. It's like an actual physical sign, and it unites like the physical and the spiritual worlds.
So they've
And
had tons of
it's
people
really interesting.
analyze this thing, and there's no signs of it ever looking like it was actually painted. Like it was. I don't understand how they just think it's magically appeared. Like it's physically on there. Like what? Like what's the
Yeah, I mean,
confusion?
well, it's just how did it get there is what people ask, and that's where the science come in, and
What do you
they
mean?
try
How did
to
it get
see
there?
like,
It's
well,
there.
that's the
Like
question. Like, well, yeah, that's but like the investigation comes in of like, well, how did this get it? Because you can look at evidence of like, Well, was there any painting or any other you could look at kind of substance or look at it through a microscope like they did? Um,
What's That's what
that
I'm
yeah, that's
confused about.
where all
Look,
the
when they looked at it under a microscope, what was
the
they?
conclusion was that there's no evidence of like an artist doing it using like raw materials.
What is the material then? What is it?
I mean, it's the tilma.
No, no. That's not an answer. It's if it's not made of any
What do you
raw
mean?
material, what is it made out of? It can't just be nothing. It's physically
But
on.
it I'm
It's a
not I didn't say it was nothing. Like it's part of the tilma.
no. It's okay. How am I? I'm
The
trying to
like
find
the
it.
the image is on the tilma. Like I know what you're saying. I'm not saying it's made out of nothing. It's just that like scientists cannot explain how this image like they can't use the like processes that we normally use to figure out like how like because like the image hasn't even it hasn't faded at all. Like nothing has even happened to it. um and they can't explain like what the actual like how would this have been constructed by human hands.
I guess I'm struggling with that because like I've seen paintings physically in person like thousands of fucking years old and like they're also haven't faded either. Like you see all their colors, they've just been well preserved. So I don't know like whatever it's been preserved with. I don't know. Like I I'm just what where I'm confused about is how like I mean we're always stumped about how like the materials and like the shit that people made back then too and we can't figure out like some of the I guess the design. Yeah, hold on, I'm not saying this right. We can't figure out like the process of how ancient peoples made something, especially with like the granite cut blocks of Egypt. We're trying to still figure out how they did it, but like it still had to come from somewhere. Like it wasn't just like I guess I just don't understand like when they're looking at this thing under a microscope, they can just say it's not made out of any raw material or pigment.
Well, I guess that
Like that makes no
that I just
that
kind of
makes no sense.
misspoke. It just they can't find any evidence of like paint brushes or paint or oil or any kind of dye. Like it's just
What do you
it's
mean any kind
on
of
the
dye?
tilma.
It's
It's part of the tilma. That's what makes it a miracle.
but anything that's ever been anything is made of something. Like it's not just part. Like
Well, I didn't.
that's what
I'm
I'm
not
saying. Like
saying it's nothing. Like you see, like
I'm not saying you're saying it's nothing. I'm just saying if they can't just say it's part of it. Like it's like I get like saying like oh they can't see the brush strokes or they don't know what the actual like you know process was that the color was put onto the cactus whatever the fuck it is. What do they call it? Is it still considered papyrus if it's a
I don't actually
whatever
know.
the fuck it's called, whatever the cactus material is called, like how I just don't get how they can look at it under a microscope and say that it's just part of it and there's no like I can see why they would say that they don't know what the technique was to have it applied onto it, but to say that it just was part of it and there's no dye, like there's clearly dye, you can see it.
Mm, It it isn't though. Like it's literally part of the tilma. Because like I said,
That makes no sense.
what do you mean? What's hard to understand about that?
it, how do I put this? It's you physically can see it. It's not just there.
Maybe
Like
I'm just
there's
well,
no
yes, of course you can see it.
like it looks like a painting. It doesn't look like a like
But it's not a painting.
what it is. It literally is
No, it's
stylistic.
it's not
It's
a
a
painting.
stylistic MIDI. It is. It's
No, it's
stylistic.
not. No, it is
Yes,
not a
what do you
painting.
mean? I'm looking at the
I didn't
fucking
say
thing.
it
It's
wasn't
literally.
stylistic. It's not a painting. Like I just said, they can't find like through a microscope, they can't find anything in this that would indicate like that would indicate to them that it's painting.
Whatever the fucking. I don't know what's considered a painting. If it's like ink on it or if it's dye or crushed beetle. Whatever the fucking thing. There's clearly color that is stylistic of human like that looks like other paintings of medieval like it's not just a random like unexplained thing. It's like it looks like other paintings.
Not really.
Like you get what I'm saying, right? Like
I
it's
mean, it
not
really
like
doesn't. Like I'm not really getting what you're saying. Like
how does
like
it not look like every other
what
fucking
about
medieval
it? It's not medieval. Like it's literally in it's indigenous. It's not European at all. Like that's what I'm trying to say.
It looks like European art. It
Not
looks
really.
like I, dude, look at the fucking baby. Like how you know how they made the old like they look like they made babies and old like they look like they made them look like old men. Like that's even stylistic of that.
Like what baby?
Like this looks like Renaissance. Like
I mean, it isn't though.
look at it. What do
I
you
am
mean?
looking
Look
at
at
it.
this shit. It looks like a fucking paint. Like what? Is
It
this?
isn't.
I guess my mind is just blown. Like I don't understand
Okay,
why.
maybe I'm wrong about like it being paint or not. I guess maybe I messed up there. But like
So then
I
what
no,
do
but
you are?
what I was more trying to focus on is that like they can't find evidence of like using all the techniques of looking through a microscope or whatever they do to determine like where the actual strokes started or like a trace of like a tool that was used to apply it. From like a brush or and all that stuff.
No, I get that aspect. It has a technique that is not available to be seen by people examining it hundreds of years later. I guess, but like the fact that they can't identify what it is, like I don't know, that just doesn't make any sense. And the fact that like it is a stylistic painting. It's not like this is the only thing that ever looks like this style ever.
I mean, I think it really is.
Of all like the Renaissance and medieval paintings you've ever seen, you think this totally is
Oh
this
yeah.
is not stylistic of that at
Oh, I
all?
think it totally is unique. I don't really know anything else that looks like this.
Not like the style of it, like
But like,
the
what
like
about
I
it
said, like they have
specifically?
the trademark, like all the gold and shit around the figures. They have the babies looking like old men.
Well, like
They got the
what baby?
wings. The little baby angel that's holding up Lady of Guadalupe on the bottom.
Oh, the
It looks like
oh
an
the
old
devil.
man. Is that supposed to be the
Yeah,
devil?
because Mary crushes the devil.
Yeah, so the devil looks like a baby old man. Like that's stylistic of medieval paintings. Like every little child looks fucking
I know what
old.
you're saying, but I don't see like the. I think they just kind of. The problem is not like that they're old men. It's just they just have the same faces as adults. Look like
That's what I'm
tiny.
saying. That's a
No, but I don't.
stylistic choice in art that makes it look like that. That's my point.
I just don't see it. Like
What the fuck?
it looks indigenous to me than it does European.
What period of indigenous art does
I
this
mean,
look
I
like
don't
to
know
you?
like indigenous art. I just mean like the actual like essence of like what it looks like.
I don't know, dude. This just looks like a medieval painting to me.
It's not.
Like we literally walked in through the fucking National Gallery of Art and saw like so much other shit that looks
No,
like
like
this.
what?
What do you mean like what? They had a whole room filled with paintings of like also religious paintings too, like of saints and angels and shit. They all look like this.
Oh wait, hold on, I'm reading. There's paint on the toma, but not
I'm
in the face or the hands. Okay.
so there is paint in it. So they've
Yeah, so
identified
like
there's
I
paint
said,
in it.
I conceded that I was wrong there, but the point that I was not wrong about was like they don't know like where it came from or like any evidence of like strokes or any kind of other evidence of like a kind of like artist being there.
Yeah, so that just means it just means
Well,
more
if they've
research.
done it, then they still do it. Then they like to this day they still do it.
I don't know. I just I guess because it looks so human, like it looks like it just looks
Well,
so
like
human. Like it looks like
what
someone painted
doesn't?
it. That's why like it doesn't seem like it's that
I mean,
miraculous. Like if this was
it's
like
like a
a,
2D image.
I mean, yeah,
But like right, but
it's a
like
two
what
D
do you
image.
like what to you would look like would pass as something that's like miraculous.
I guess if it was meant to be like a natural formation, which I
But it's
guess
not natural. Like
technically
the
would
whole
be
point of a
the
miracle is that it's supernatural.
Right, but this doesn't look supernatural, is what I'm saying. Like it does. It
I
looks
mean,
like a human painted it.
but that's the thing. The point is that like it didn't like it wasn't painted by a human. Like it literally appeared. That's what
No,
makes it the miracle and it's supernatural.
I get that's the
It's
lore
not
of
the
it. I'm just
lore.
saying,
Like
like
that's
when you
what
physically
happened.
look at it. Okay.
I mean, I know like you'll
It just
never
looks like a
believe that,
painting.
but uh,
Well, it's not about believing it or not. It just like it doesn't come off as miraculous because it doesn't look
well,
that miraculous. Is
that's
what I'm
personal
saying. It's like
incredulity. Like just because you personally don't find it that like that it looks like it like with like it doesn't fit into like what you would consider to be miraculous doesn't mean it's not miraculous. That's just a problem of personal incredulity.
what I'm saying is like you could say that about anything that looks like this, and you could claim that it just magically appeared. Like you could say that about every image or painting. Like it doesn't matter what it is. My point is that like it just doesn't like it's too detailed I mean, I guess I'll put
Well,
it
wouldn't
this
that
way.
make more
It looks
sense that
too
like
detailed to just be
well like
magically appeared.
why
I
was
guess is
too
my point.
detailed indicative of like not miraculously there?
Because most of the time when people like claim they've seen like religious images on things is like a vague outline or a shadow, maybe it's a natural formation or it's something in the clouds, right? It looks like whatever image of Jesus or something, right? But this is like a
Yeah, but
legitimate painting. Like it
that
just
can
said
all
that
be
there's
like
painting.
photoshopped and fabricated. Whereas like this like so many people actually literally saw this as it happened, signed off on it, were willing to literally die for it, to to like like people saw like it wasn't just some dude said like hey I saw this and like give some like sketch like proof of it. Like it's literally happened in front of like a conference of people and they all were willing to die for it. And there's also like all the other scientific research on top of that, like I said. So like there's good reasons to believe. Like it's not just well this is my religion, therefore like there's actually good reasons to believe that this is miraculous.
I don't know, besides like having an account of like back in that time, like I don't get like I guess the only thing that if it's true that holds water is like they don't know how if there's no brush strokes or they can't find any way indicative of it being applied. I guess is the only valid reason. But again, that just means like they just don't know. I don't know. Like it just I just don't know how you're supposed to
Well,
prove that. Is
that's
my
just
point.
like
Like if you're making such a bold claim as it magically
no,
appeared, like
but
how does it?
you're
I don't
kind of
think that can
straw
be
manning and be
proven.
like, oh well, magically, like it's not magic. It's miraculous.
Or that it appeared out of nowhere, like it
Well,
just appeared. Whatever the word
well,
is.
I mean, it's miraculous. It's a miracle. It came from God, and like you're thinking
Right, but so if no one painted it and it just appeared, then that's what I'm saying is like, how do you really
because it's
prove that? Is my point.
supernatural, and you prove it because of all these other, and you could see all of these different patterns, and it's utterly insane. Like certain things that like the constellation of the stars, patterns that like they would have like what they wouldn't have known that that was the pattern like in the sky. It's incredible some of the stuff they could see, and also like if you see like actually I can send you the picture. Like if you zoom in close enough on a microscope, you can literally see Juan Diego in her eyes. It's utterly insane the things you could see. And all these different other patterns and symbols like that are it's just you have to look through a microscope to even see them. Like a human couldn't have painted this.
Are there pictures of the stuff under the microscope, or they
Yeah,
just tell you there
there's
was? Like,
pictures.
would you? So there's a picture of someone's reflection in an
Yes.
eye. That I would be interested to see if that's actually like if that's been valid to be actually in there. You know what I mean? Like if that's an undeniable fact that that's actually in there. Like that would be really interesting. I would
Yeah,
actually
I
really
can
like to
send
see
you
that.
that. There's a really good PowerPoint that shows all of this stuff and like the different constellations and stuff like that. Like there's like a
Where are the wait?
there's like a
Where are the
perfect
constellations?
like it's all like the stars on her robes if you see. Yeah,
Oh, on a
like
row.
because there's all the different.
What do you mean? It's just a pattern of stars. It doesn't look like it's in a
It
constellation
was
form.
like
It's
the
just on there.
pattern of the stars on that day, which like they've used like modern like astronomy techniques to actually determine that yeah, that actually would have been the position of the stars at the appearance like at that day and time.
What? They're just like. What do you mean? They're just like. They're not in like a. They're just like painted. What
Like,
the fuck?
what's hard to believe about that?
They're, they're not in like a con. They're just on her robe. They're not like in a formation. They're just stars randomly put on
Well,
there.
it's how
They're
she
not
like
in
it's
a.
how Our Lady would have seen them.
What? No.
And
What?
like there's
What the?
no way then like it matches up with how they would have looked at the day if you're looking in that direction at that place and that time. And there's no way that they would have known how like
Bro, they're.
that was the way it looked.
I don't know, man. Like they literally just look like they're just randomly placed on
I
there. There's
mean, they're
no
not.
like. So what constellations are they supposed to
I'm
represent? Do you
trying
know?
to I don't remember which ones specifically, but what I did know,
Because it literally just looks like there's just stars
yeah.
randomly on her robe. It doesn't look like they're supposed to be in any sort of constellation or any sort of
Well,
fucking pattern. They're just
I
on
just
there.
said, like that's just personal incredulity. Like,
I mean, yeah, but like what?
all right, let me see. So just even though the image has been replicated many times, the original one never seems to fade when duplicates have deteriorated over a short time. The tilma has human characteristics. The fabric has a constant temperature between 36.6 and 37 degrees Celsius, which is a living person's temperature in addition to other astonishing features. It appears to be indestructible. I told you about that, the bomb. I'm trying to see. I had a really good PowerPoint about it that showed all like the patterns and everything in her robes and all that. Sorry, stars and constellations appear in the robe and mantle. Our Lady is wearing a blue-green mantle. This is the color worn by Aztec royalty. Also notice that the mantle is covered with golden stars. Um, this reminds. Okay, that's like theological. You wouldn't be interested in that. The arrangement of the stars depicted on Mary's mantle is not random and decorative. It is very specific. Our Lady's stars represent entire constellations. You could see there is Corona Borealis, Draco, Ophiuchus, Scorpio, Lupus, Centaurus, Southern Cross, Canis Minor, Gemini, Auriga, Taurus, Orion. Um, wow, I didn't even think this was Virgo, Ursa Major, or I don't know how to say that. Lynx. Wow, this actually is really cool. I'll send you this, and you can see all of the patterns, like on like it's cool. Like they highlight them on the actual robe. Um, so yeah.
I don't know, man. It just all
I
so
mean,
far
it's
fetched. Like
not.
it's just
That's just
I don't
personal
know.
incredulity and modernism, and you just, I mean, if you get outside of that mindset and you realize that it's real, it's fucking awesome.
It's to the point where I legitimately would have to see something like in person, like unfold in real time. Like there's
I mean,
just
you
so
can
much
see it in
fucking.
Mexico.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I obviously want to go visit it. It's a cool. I like how it looks. It's a good looking painting. That's why I'm saying I like it because it's stylistic. I like medieval and Renaissance
All
looking
right.
paintings. It looks cool. I like it, but like I don't know, like
Wow, and the con
the whole thing about the stars,
I'll
like
send you the picture, and it says Corona Borealis, which means
it's
the northern crown appears at Mary's head. Mary is crowned with stars, just as described in Revelations 12. Virgo, which means virgin, appears near Mary's heart. This represents her purity and virginity. Leo, which means the lion, appears at Mary's pregnant belly. This signifies that the Virgin Mary is pregnant with a lion, specifically the Lion of Judah. One of the most important prophecies of the Messiah in the Old Testament is that of the Lion of Judah. Draco.
wait, where's
The
this lion?
lion is in the constellation Leo.
Where is that
On
constellation
her
on her robe? On the
pregnant
right or left?
belly. So that's
On her belly?
yeah, let me see where the picture was.
Wait, is that the The green robe has the stars. I'm seeing like
Yeah, Leo
flowers
is
and shit
on.
on her
Yeah, but there's
actual.
stars in there too.
I can't really. It's hard to see on a fucking blown up image. I was looking at the stars on her robe. I was like, how the this looks just like random as shit.
Yeah,
There's
they
no way
need.
those are.
Well,
But I
that's
can't
actually
really
due
see
to
the ones in
modern
the middle.
science that we can actually see that now, which is cool. Um, but yeah, like it shows like the stars are like highlighted, so it puts emphasis on them, so you can actually see them. And you can see the original image, and that going back to it looks pretty cool. Um, yeah, and then the last one is Draco, which means the dragon is face to face with the Virgin Mary. This represents the enmity and battle between Mary and Satan, prophesied at Genesis 3:15 and depicted in Revelations 12. Yeah, okay. Also holds several secret Aztec symbols.
The texture of her middle robe is really cool. I like the golden and the orange and how it
Yeah,
meshes
and I really
together.
like the golds that's like on the kind of, I think it's like a silk robe, I think, of like the blue one. Like the line like on the edge of the blue robe looks really cool, like the gold. It's so pretty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool too. But I like the pattern of it on in the middle though. I like the golden etching in the orange and yellow kind of
I'm
drape.
glad you
That's nice
actually
looking.
like the way it looks. Because a bunch of
Yeah, I do. I like this style of.
was it
I've always liked this style
yeah.
of art. That's why I like going to the Vatican. I like going to the National Gallery because I like
Mm,
it looks cool. But it does look faded though. Like I don't know. Like it doesn't look fresh.
maybe
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 it's
it
because it's
appears like
fucking
that.
old.
I don't know.
It
Well, it's
appeared
not,
faded.
I wouldn't describe it as faded. I guess like does it look fresh? Like I don't know.
It
I
looks
mean,
old,
yeah, but
especially like the like the glow, the aura glow around her. That looks like kind of old too and faded and crackled or whatever.
where
Like the little glow aura around her, the little orange bubble she's in.
what about it?
It looks like older, like it's crackled and kind of faded looking, and then like the has like the brown kind of moldy look at the top, and then it has like the kind of jizzy stains on the outside around
I
it.
don't see it. No,
Maybe the
I just don't think it does.
and then it has like those that line that kind of like that like that white sort of line, or there's like two of them if you notice, like under her prayer hands, kind of on her sleeves. It has that line that goes across it, kind of looks faded. And then there's another one. Was this folded? Did they like unfold this? Because there's like a crease line in the middle.
Oh, is there? Well, yeah,
Yeah, you see like on
remember
the.
like I said, like he had his tilma, like he had it up and then he unfolded it. Like that's what because Our Lady gave him specific instructions of like what he needed to do and say to the bishop, and he had his cloak like folded up. So I guess that probably just comes from that.
Yeah, it looks like it was folded in the middle, and then there's two like fade lines, like I said, underneath her prayer hands. There's those two little faint lines, and then there's another one kind of in the bottom of her legs, in the middle, kind of in like where like on the right side where her robe kind of folds into a triangle. It's like the top of that triangle, in the middle has two fade lines, kind of in the middle.
I mean, it's still there. I mean, the painting is still there and it
Huh?
looks great.
No, no, it's still there. I'm just saying, like I'm looking at like what
I
could
mean,
potentially look faded in here. If you said it
they've
wasn't
done
faded,
like people. I mean, of course, people have done like replicas and paintings of it, and those are already like much more faded than this. I mean, this appeared in like what like 1580 something.
I'm trying to. I think I'm looking, trying to look at the official picture, It's hard because there's so many replicas of this thing. I'm trying to find like an
I
actual
think
picture of the actual
Wikipedia
thing.
has the official picture, I guess. They always do a good job with that.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Yeah, this is Wikipedia. Yeah, the fade lines are more pronounced on the Wikipedia thing. Oh wait, but it has like this isn't the actual. Wait, is it? Because her face looks grainy, like it's on a
There's
like it's printed. You know what I'm talking about? It's like has that
hold
like
on.
the
There's like
stippling,
the
or is that just the texture of the? I think it's just the texture of the
yeah, that
cactus
that actually
that
could
it's
be.
on.
Yeah, there's slight like dot kind of texture on it, which I think that's just from it being digitized.
It looks like it's the
Yeah, but I don't think
canvas.
that's actually part of the original painting. Oh yeah, I do see the creases. It actually looks kind of cool.
Yeah, there's like a big crease line in the middle. Then there's like two. I don't know if they're crease lines. It looks like faded lines under her hands, and then two of them that's by her folded part of the robe. You see that?
Yeah, that actually makes it more yeah, it makes it more convincing.
That looks
Like to
cool.
see like if it was folded up like that. Yeah,
Yeah, you can
that's
clearly
really
see where it's
cool.
folded. I can see the in this on the Wikipedia one. I can see the. So those look like flowers though. I don't see stars. I guess you could kind of see like the top view of like a flower. You could kind of interpret that as a star, but it doesn't seem like there's that
Well,
much
if
in
you
there. They
look
just look like
at
flowers.
I'll send you the picture of the stars. It actually makes it a lot more sense. Like I think it's like like the middle of the flowers, like the circle, is like where the stars would be.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Those could be interpreted as stars too.
Yeah.
The top view of the flower petals, not the
No,
leaves
because
looking
because
ones.
those were
See
like
that?
esoteric Aztec symbols. Yeah. Um.
Yeah. But the stars on her teal robe definitely don't look like they just look like they're
Well, I'll
lined
show you
up.
the
You know what I
picture.
mean? But you can draw a pattern from like any of them. Like they're just or like you could draw a red line and make a constellation out of the stars that are on her robe. But I'm saying like the actual placement of them, they're just like kind of in a row.
No, but it
You know what I
actually
mean? There's
like,
like two, three,
but that's
three,
not what it is. Like I know
four
it might
through.
look like that, but when you actually, I'll show you the picture at some point. It makes more sense of it.
No, I get what you're saying. My point is you can draw whatever lines you want
No,
between the
but
stars. You can
they're
pick and
they're
choose. But I'm
that they're
saying the
not
way that they're
picking and
actually laid
choosing.
out
Like
on her
the
robe.
constellations actually like are like they have the same amount. Like it actually looks like how you would see it in the stars. Like sorry, in the sky.
I'm trying to count how many stars are on here. One, two, three, four. It is an intriguing painting. I'm not gonna lie. Like it is like it's cool to like skim around and like see all the details like close up on it. It's a cool.
Yeah.
It's like
The
mesmerizing.
eye thing is just that is mesmerizing. Um.
Yeah, I definitely want to see that claim. Like if they actually have a, but like her eyes almost look closed. Like was it in the right one? Because that's the
they're
left one looks like she's like squinting. The
they're
right
both
one you can
open.
barely even see anything. I know I'm looking at it on a fucking phone. Obviously, like if I saw it in person, I could get more better sense of the scale.
Yeah,
But it
from
almost
like
looks like her eyes
how
are
we're seeing
closed.
the picture now, but if you
Yeah.
look at it close enough, even without a microscope, you can see that the eyes are open, and it's like you there's a little bit of like something in there, and then if you have to actually zoom in, then it's just really cool looking.
Now I know why some people
Well,
tattoo
yeah,
this on their
I mean they
arm.
just misled or something. I mean it's a cool image.
Like, yo, I see your candles at
Yeah,
Walmart,
I have a
girl.
really cool cross with it. Um, hold on.
I've always liked the gold and orange like texture
Yeah,
design look. That always was cool to me.
like you think that gold and orange wouldn't really go together, but it really does. Um,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it says thus in their totality and proper places, the 46 most brilliant stars that can be seen on the horizon of the Valley of Mexico are identified. Oh wow, and they've done like X-ray views of it,
Hmm.
like of the
Of
image.
the
Like it's
star? What do
cool.
you mean
Like they've
X-ray?
seen, well, there's like an X-ray view of it, or I don't know if it's an
I want to see
X-ray
an
or if like
X-ray
a
view. What's the
UV or it's
X-ray view
some
look like?
like cool thing.
Damn. Yeah, I have to actually look more about the claims. I have heard that it can't be
Yeah.
destroyed. That part I have heard. Um, but it is a nice looking painting.
Hmm.
It looks like a good album cover.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, of course, I have a bunch of the images in my house. But I mean, I love this image. This is like one of my most favorite images ever, right? But I think because this one's like so famous, people forget about or they just don't really know about the other ones that have happened. Because this isn't like the only time that, because Our Lady has appeared to like so many different people at so many different times, right?
Is it
It
only her that just appears? Is there
well,
no pictures of Jesus that just appear? I know people claim that on like surfaces and
well,
shit.
no,
I mean,
because
like an
Jesus
actual like painting like
appeared
this.
like when the incarnation happened. And, like he's left and he's not gonna come back until like he in his second coming. Um, but Mary has revealed herself and like like I said throughout like to so many different cultures, right? And almost every single culture has their own Marian apparition. Um, there and like and similar things happen. It's just like this one is the most iconic. And there's like a really famous image or like an object was discovered and stuff like that. Um,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of those.
I mean, of course, they like the if it's like an object or something like in Brazil, for example, like they found a wooden uh statue of Our Lady. Didn't have the head actually, but they saw like it was like the whole body and like the hands in prayer. Right, you can look it up. It's called Our Lady of Aparecida is what it's called. And of course they put the cloak and the crown on it afterwards, but
Yeah.
they actually some fishermen found that and they were like, "Yeah." And that was the way that Our Lady appeared to the Brazilians. Yeah. It's just
It's crazy. We live in a time of just boring, unmysterious things. Like all this shit happened long
I
before
know
we were
you're like
here. It sucks.
why can't something
Where's
like
all this
this
shit
happen
now?
now? Yeah.
Where'd it go? That is a really true thing though. Like a lot of people, it's like, where did all this shit go? Like we live in such a digitized age.
I mean,
It's
like I
like
said, I
all
really
this shit
just
just
think that's
went
just like
away.
modernism and like the kind of like well, like there's no such thing as like miracles or spirituality or anything like that. Like that could never like that's not scientifically provable. And it's like that kind of like lens of looking through the world that is just kind of like people are just kind of like convinced that like oh yeah, like there's no like miracles, like, there's no spirituality. That's all just like made up. And I think like that just
Yeah.
that kind of mindset I guess like it can be good in that like we can just make things that run more efficient, I guess, but you lose a lot of stuff, like this, and I know what you're saying of like,
Yeah.
man, why can't we be alive with that? But I mean, things like these happen all the time, and like it's always with us, it just um
I don't know. I think the problem is like there's such an incentive for people to fake shit like this. It's like that's just forgeries are just so abundant. Not even just with holy artifacts, just with any artifact in general, just to make money or fame or notoriety. So I think that's part of my problem. Is just like
yeah.
this shit is just so
No, and
abundant.
there is a truth to that, but I'm actually much more skeptical of like like paleontology than I am of this. Um, cause that,
I mean, yeah, there's a clear dogma, whether it's religious or scientific. The problem is like I don't have the technical know how to prove if something's
right,
false or not. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's one of those. It's the same thing with politics. You
right.
just argue with what you know, I guess. But I don't know. I think the one thing that I mean, because the bomb thing did happen. That was a documented case. So to me, that's probably the most miraculous
Yeah, I
thing
was
is
gonna
that it
say
wasn't
like even if
destroyed
you
in the
are
bomb.
like even if you like reject some of the other miraculous things or claims about it, yeah, or like even if it
That's the
is
most
like if you
credible
say
in my
like oh it's
opinion.
like it looks a little bit faded, like well, I mean it did survive a bomb, so I think like that kind of yeah, it's a little like
It's a
you
little
got to
faded
brush
from the
off
bomb.
the the specks of dust, and then got to get yeah, but
Yeah, I've heard people claim that too. They've had their house burned down or like all that shit happens, and the only thing that was left
yeah,
standing was the Bible
or
in their drawer or whatever.
yeah, it happens all the time with blessed objects or things like that. Um, or yeah, I mean that's just why I have icons all over my room. I have things all over my house. Like it's not like out of a sort of like fear of like superstitious like oh well like what God what if this like it just kind of like it's just one of those things where it's like you know where you kind of ask yourself well you know why is it wrong like why is it bad to have this because like it's just I think people like they get it wrong when they kind of question things. They're just like I'm trying to find the right words. Where like to me like if they ask well why do you have all these icons like in your room like what does it do like what's the point? I'm like well like well what's wrong with having that like they're like what what's the benefit of having it? And I was just be like well what's the benefit of not having it? Like
I don't know. You can go back and forth all
they're
day with the
just
messaging.
right, but I just think they're just going
You
off
can let it
of
go
like
forever.
faulty assumptions. I mean, I'm going off assumptions too. I understand that, but you see what I'm saying?
Oh, I think he died. Miracle
Yeah,
couldn't
and
save
then
you now.
well,
Will, you're
hopefully I'll go
dead.
to heaven. God help me, but oh, I
Oh
did.
shit! You cut out. You came back.
Oh,
What
I
happened?
said, well, I mean,
Yeah.
hopefully I'll get to heaven. I mean, God help me, but yeah, but you
Was
were
that
like
response to what I said, or were you
you're like,
making another point?
sorry, the miracle can't save you. You're dead. Yeah.
You just cut out while you were talking right
Well,
there.
as a Catholic, I don't fear death,
Um,
or I try not to.
that's
Because
good.
yeah,
It's good to
because I
live life
mean,
not fearing death.
a lot of Christians get it wrong with like they're just constantly worried like am I saved, or am I doing and it's like if you're constantly worrying about how you're saved like you're thinking about it the wrong way. Like I don't think God wants you to live your life constantly like just like paranoid about what because God's not like this evil like narcissistic tyrant that like people kind of characterize him as. Like God is love, right? God is mercy. It's just you need to trust in him and his teachings and what he asks of us and then let your life just flow from that. Don't just constantly get fixated on like like am I saved, am I damned, like you're missing the point. I think you would agree with me with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Right.
I don't look at things that black and white. There's so much gray area, nuance, and good and evil. So I don't know. I I I look, and I've made this point before. Like, I wouldn't be arrogant enough, like to claim either way about what true evil, true good would be in
Mm.
terms of like a deity. You know what I mean? Like, we can't put human standards onto something like that if that it was the case. But
Yeah,
um,
yeah, I see what you're
I
saying.
don't know.
But the good thing is that God has revealed himself to us. You know? Um it was with first Abraham and Then it went to the patriarchs, right, and then to Moses, and then to all the other prophets, all the way to John the Baptist, and then you got Jesus. As if the he is the final word, you know. And then he gave
The
it to
final
his
word.
apostles, and the apostles put their hands upon their successors, and they put the hands upon their successors, all the way up to the bishops and priests we see today.
I'm just waiting for the next artifact to appear, like in our lifetime.
I'm glad you
I just
actually
want to see what it
have
looks
that
like.
attitude of like, I just want to see something like another Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Yeah, I just want something to change. I'm tired of all this bullshit that we have to fucking pretend that's real. So I just want to see something cool in my lifetime, whether it's aliens or ghosts
I mean,
or mystical
we
shit. I don't even
very
care.
well may see that. Yeah, do you?
I hope so.
What is your opinion? Well, so I know
I
you're not
hope
religious,
so.
but I was interested to see your perspective. Like, do you think that the world is ending, or like, what do you like? What's your take on that?
I mean, are you talking about like by us or by a natural thing or by
Anything,
divine? Like
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 any
ending
of
by
that.
what? I mean, I think the
All right,
most
I'm ready.
realistic scenario is that we're gonna kill each other on the
Yep.
planet,
So
or maybe a natural disaster or a
we
meteor.
were
I
just
don't know
talking
if it'll end in my
about
lifetime.
sleep paralysis.
I just know that we're not. I don't think we're progressing as a
I
species.
think
So
is
eventually, we're
leaning
just gonna
more into
devolve
that
until we
because
kill each
I
other. I
definitely
think that's. I
I
don't know.
felt awake
Hopefully, it's not in my
when this happened.
lifetime. But I mean, I don't think. There's times where I go back and forth, and I feel like
Right.
eventually, like we'll snap out of it and elevate together as a species. Whether that means going to space or finding new elements or creating some sort of revolutionary medicine that makes people live for hundreds of years or something, a miraculous breakthrough that basically just wakes us up, you know what I mean? Or
Hmm.
if we eventually find out the powers
Is
that
that what
be,
an
whoever they
innocuous
are, and
dream
we
is?
finally figure out who they are and like actually put a legitimate stop to their influence, if that's even a possibility, then sure. But I don't know, I just feel like
Oh yeah, yeah.
the way that we're going as a obviously as social creatures we're going backwards. No one can communicate effectively. We're obviously
Wow,
people were violent and genocidal back in the day,
that's
but
boring.
even with our modern code of ethics we still commit the same atrocities on a smaller scale or do
Yeah,
it in covert.
yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like we're eventually going to go devolve into primal ways again, or just be so submissive and so subdued by all the chemicals and all the shit that the government
Yeah, I've
feeds us.
had
So
that
I
where
don't know.
like I've
It's hard to be optimistic,
had
but
a
I don't know if it'll
couple
end in my lifetime.
where like
I'm not
I,
sure. I'm not a doomsday guy. I don't have,
where
hard
like I
hard facts
whacked
either
off
way,
in
but it
public,
feels like it.
and I'm just like, oh dang it. Yeah, and everyone's like, bruh. I'm just like, oh, what am I? What's wrong
Is
with
that
me?
not the
Like,
common sentiment that Revelations is going to happen, the
have you
rapture
ever had
happens,
that
demons
dream?
fight on Earth, kind of shit?
Yeah, okay, well, that's good actually, because like I literally wake up and I'm like, oh, that wasn't real. Oh, okay. Do you have like are your dreams like do you have the dreams where it's like, oh, that wasn't real, thank God. Okay. Hmm.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, bro. Yeah, gotta go.
You know, selfishly, I wish that was the case because I don't know if you feel this way too, but like the
Yeah.
fact of like the
Oh, that
concept of
too.
me dying and then
Yeah.
like
I
the
kind of
world just
understand
progressively
everything.
gets better after I'm gone is so infuriating to me. I don't know why. Like, all right, he's dead. All right, let's advance
Okay.
society another 200 years.
Oh, that's good. I mean,
That would
you don't
suck.
want that.
See, I always thought, like, in my head, like, the whole concept, because I remember people repeated this constantly that, you know, if we're supposed to be made in God's image and we have pieces of Him inside of us and vice versa, like, He has to have our fucked up sense of
Mm,
humor. You know what I mean? Like, I think people think God's too serious, and that's why I think He's tyrannical. But I don't know. Like, if you really think about it, like, if you created a bunch of
right.
things, like, you would
I
get
see what you're
bored and want
saying.
to fuck with them eventually. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. Right. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I just
just
totally
chill,
get
just a
that vibe
stoner.
with like the Appalachians, like the Wendigo. Like, I honestly think that shit is real.
You know what's funny? I do remember this vividly. I remember I had like this image that, you know, like when you have like an ethereal godly image of Jesus as a kid, you always think that he was like calm and collected in every situation. And I remember
Sure,
vividly
sure.
thinking, I was really young. The I don't remember the specific Bible story, but Jesus was mad at something at like some people at a
Mm.
temple, so he'd run around like
Yeah, I have a
destroying shit.
buddy who he tells me
I
he
remember being really
swears he
young and
saw
that
one.
freaked me out. Like
Um,
hearing a story
but he's
where he
not
got
like a
so mad
crazy
where he was
person.
like
I
breaking
mean,
shit. Like,
he's
I was like,
sane as
"Whoa,
far as
dude,
I'm
he's so
concerned.
mad."
Like, if they really, I thought it was an East Coast. It was like it's like a West Virginia thing. The
Yeah,
Mothman.
yeah, yeah. It was,
Well, I mean, I would probably yeah. I thought it was
yeah,
like the tribe that was in Virginia, like the Algon. Yeah, look that up because I do want to know that.
yeah. I was like disturbed. I was like, "Oh shit, don't get out of line." Yeah. Jesus hates capitalism. Ah. Yeah.
Algonquin. Yeah, okay. Ah, okay. Then what would we have out here?
You know what's
Like
funny? Jesus would
Iroquois?
absolutely loathe America. Like I think it's really funny. I remember my mom put up I gave her so much shit for it. This is so funny. My mom put up a flag. It was like Jesus pulling back the American flag, and I'm looking at it and I was like, this is the most white trash flag I've ever seen in my life. She's like, what do you mean? She's like, no, it's Jesus. I'm like, it's Jesus
Yeah,
pulling
what do
back
we
the
have here? Like, where's
American
Bigfoot
flag.
supposed to
Jesus
be?
would
That like
fucking hate
that's
America.
like
We're like the
west, isn't
exact
it?
opposite of everything he's ever preached in his life. Like, what the fuck what do you mean? Jesus would not we are not God's chosen people in fucking the USA.
Oh yeah. I kind of believe in the Yeti.
Like it was like a really somber, dramatic looking of picture of
Yeah, like
Jesus. He's got the crown
I
of
guess
thorns, and then
I
like
don't
he
really
has a
know
really
if it's
veiny
like
hand.
the
He's
way
like
that we
holding
like
the American
depict it in
flag
pop
back as a
culture, but
curtain.
I wouldn't be surprised if
It'd
there's
be
some
conducive to him
like
wearing like a Trump hat or some
beast
shit, like just really
that
redneck,
is
stupid
just
fucking
totally
flag.
unlike
And my
anything
mom
we
it's
see,
uncharacteristic for her
like
to put this
where
flag
we
up
live
because she's always
geographically,
been
like in
religious,
the
but
mid.
not
Like
like
I
that.
wouldn't be
She's
surprised if
not
there
been
is
like cringy
some
redneck
sort of like
religious.
crazy beast that lives in like the Himalayas with like all the Tibetan Buddhism and all that. Like I totally get that vibe. Um, yeah, because I'm pretty sure it comes from like those Tibetan Buddhist like folklore and all that. Yeah.
I don't know. I just think the concept is wild. There's a lot of rednecks think that America is like God's promised land, which is fucking hilarious to me.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Well, I guess. Uh, yeah, I guess like what draws me more to like the cryptids could really be true is like the or all of these beasts is because like the Bible. I mean, obviously, I believe the Bible is true. So and like the Bible like talks about like beasts and stuff like that that were on the earth and whatnot, and like all of the like the Nephilim and all that. Yeah, so I mean, I believe all that was real. So very well could be connected then.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Um, I guess like I don't really know exactly how like they looked, but I mean they were there. Yeah, there's giants. There I don't know if there's dragons. I mean there might have been something like the dragon. Just because yeah, just it talks about a bunch of crazy creatures like the behemoth. We still don't even really know exactly what that even was. You know? Yeah. There's it's just so cool. A bunch of that stuff about the Bible that gets like kind of overlooked. There's the Ethiopian has the church has the biggest canon. They also they claim to have the Ark of the
I
Covenant.
forgot about that. Yeah, they did hate Catholics. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Hmm.
I could see some sects doing that just because that's part of their literature. What, the white robe or the cross thing that they use, the blood cross. Spanish monks would wear those.
That happens sometimes. Um, I had never heard about that one. Yeah, but yeah. Where like is the chart of Turin like is
I mean, their whole shit is just fucking dumb.
okay?
Like the
Okay.
Grand Wizard and the Imperial Dragon. Like, what the fuck?
I haven't looked like too much. Like I haven't looked into that very much.
Yeah.
Like what? Oh, they do. I saw it. Yeah. Well, it's there.
Damn. Yeah, I'm sure the fucking political art that they draw would be hilarious.
Yeah, they have
What the fuck?
the I mean you can actually see like there's the in one of the churches in Rome, some of the stuff they do say is like is just a replica. Like they actually have the robes that Jesus wore, but they say it was as a replica, right? But the stuff that is legit that they have is the yeah, they have some of the pieces of the crown of thorns. They also have they have some pieces of the cross. They also have they have the pillar that Christ was scourged at. They also have the steps that were in Pontius Pilate. Like they literally transported the steps. Like Constantine got them from Jerusalem. Like they transported the steps that Jesus walked up to go see Pontius Pilate. Um,
Yeah, I
and
get
they
it.
brought it to one of the popes. I don't remember if it was his palace or something. But it was like at the top of the steps where it is in Rome. It was where they cited the Holy of Holies, if you remember what that was. Um, like they made that the stairway to the Holy of Holies. Um,
Yeah, I always thought it was a loaded question. Anyway, I never like this. One I've never asked. Like people are always. I mean, obviously now it's political, whether you like America or don't like America, and that shit's cringe. But
it's a fair
I mean,
question. Yeah,
just realistically, like yeah, obviously, like we have a
yeah.
bunch
I
of
mean,
freedoms in this country that
it's
no
a
one
fair
else
question.
has. But anytime that anyone's ever asked me that, it's just like it's like not. I'm not proud to be American. I'm just like proud to just like be a part and know people that have made this country great, while the government has probably put the red tape on us. I've always said the people have made this country great, and the government's just been in the way. So I think like there's a difference between like patriotism and nationalism. I think. Well, I mean there is a difference, but I think nationalism is way worse.
Well, no, that's a
I would say
painting.
patriotism is like you're proud,
That's
and
no, that's
these are
that's
probably not
just a
the official
painting. What?
definitions. This is just from the way people have used it and how I
That
see it.
that's
Like,
like
I
that's
feel
like
like to me,
Renaissance
patriotism is just like
style art.
you have pride from where you're from. You like you wear the flag and all that. Nationalism is like you fully support the government, and that's like basic terms, but that's pretty much how I see it. Because like you can kind of confuse the two. Like like people that are insanely patriotic are also probably nationalists as well. I guess. Um,
Well, yeah, I mean they're at the tippy top, the elite.
well, I thought that's also like ethnocentrism and ethnocentrism too.
Well, like what?
God, I can't speak.
Like what?
Yeah, a lot of people, most people think
Seems
that.
legit to me. It's just
No matter where they're from, they think their version of whatever they believe in is the best. This it's the same thing with
well, yeah,
food. They think their food is the
it gets
best. It's
kind
just
of
all fucking
ruined and
stupid.
like it gets kind of
They don't learn anything
well,
from other
I
people,
see what you're saying.
which
I don't
is
think
why
it's
I'm
that
fortunate to grow
bad,
up
but
where we
like
did, because you learn a bunch of different
it
cultures
definitely
and
has some
languages
sort
and
of
people from countries you
like
never
it's
even think of
corroded
or not
by
even
like
know where
the
they are on the
modern
map.
way
So that
that
is
we
a nice
run
thing. I'm
things,
glad
and it kind of
I
like
grow up around a
demystifies it,
lot of
which I
the
really
same
don't
people.
like. Um, yeah, and the way it's set up can kind of take that away,
That's
but I
just to
still
me
think the
personally.
actual things themselves are holy and they're legit. It's just it's just kind of been defiled a little bit. Oh yeah.
That might be the actual definition. Like I
No, I
don't
mean
in case it
they've
means
done all
something like more
the
specifically.
checking
Like that's just how
and
I've
stuff
always
like
viewed
that,
it.
like a big thing. I mean, it's not in the Vatican, but
No idea. I mean,
the
nationalism
tilma
has always been
of
had a
Juan
negative
Diego,
connotation. Like
Lady of
patriotism can kind of be
Guadalupe in
murky. Like
Mexico,
people that are
they have
ultra.
done like extensive like research
Yeah,
and
exactly.
studying
Yeah,
the
it's
actual
stupid as
cloak, and
fuck. But I'm just I
they've
mean just the
examined it.
actual
Like they
word
can't find
patriotism itself, not
any
specifically
evidence of like
American.
strokes or how like a
Like
point at which like the art would have like started, right? And that they've literally looked into Our Lady's eyes in like a microscope, and you can literally see like Juan Diego in her eyes. It's actually like insane. And someone literally tried to blow it up. Did you know that? Someone tried to blow it up, and like literally nothing happened to it. Everything around it is just like destroyed except the tilma. It's utterly insane. Like nothing has happened to it. I mean, they're demonically
yeah, no,
possessed,
for real.
or they hate Catholics, or both. I don't, God, that kind of goes hand in hand. But I really don't know. I mean, I don't even know who did it. It was just some terrorist, right? Um, but it's just so insane. Like, and you see the whole like the patterns in like the actual like her cloak, like Our Lady's cloak. It's just all these
Yeah,
constellations that
yeah, it's
like
all dumb.
like we didn't even know what those constellations were until like hundreds of years later, and like they just recognized it then, like much later. It's insane. Like it is
Yeah, I
literally
mean,
miraculous.
the same thing with like the not I, the flag I get because well not like I don't give a fuck, but I get the argument of like people that served in the military people not respecting the flag or whatever. I
Does the
mean,
Mona
I think
Lisa go
it's
on
the
tour?
more a better argument is like, fighting for a government that doesn't actually give a shit about you.
Yeah, no,
So,
it wasn't always in the
like
Louvre.
having
Yeah.
criticisms for it's not so much like what the flag represents, like they're misconstruing it as like that's their identity is fighting for this country when in reality, not like people that fought in World War II, like
Oh
specifically
yeah,
like
that happened.
Vietnam and every war after Vietnam. Like there's no reason they had to fight any of that fucking shit. So it's like having blind patriotism or nationalism to the
That's
flag has always
modernism.
made no
It
sense to me. I
got
don't
your
know why
ass.
vets get offended about that because like
It got
they
your ass.
clearly can tell that this country doesn't give a shit about them when they leave. Like that's apparent
Well, no, it's just because modernism
with
like
like the number of
ruined
homeless
the
vets, like the
concept of
suicides, the
there's no.
shitty health care
It's
that they
like
receive. Like
the
it's
culmination
very
of like
clear that no one gives a
shit that like
fuck,
people were
especially
saying in like the
politicians or this
1600s,
government about
right?
veterans.
Of
Like
just
they're
like there's
clearly
no
pawns in whatever
metaphysics, there's
bullshit
no
they want to peddle, right? So
spirituality.
that part
We
never. I
got you
get the pact of
Catholics, and
being
it's just
like
like,
disrespected because your family member
bro,
fought,
like
but like
we get
not
that
any
you hate
modern war. I
Catholics,
don't know.
but
It's all been
like
fucking stupid. And
that
also
doesn't
like for
like
the fucking anthem, like
disprove
not,
the concept of
standing for
spirituality and
the
like the
anthem. Like who
spiritual
gives a shit?
forces
Like
of
all that
good
is
and
just
evil
blind
and these
fucking
miracles that
propaganda.
happen
Like
because they
the
happen.
Pledge of
I
Allegiance,
mean,
just saying the
you
prayer
know,
to your government, like
um,
it's all fucking
I
stupid.
mean, you might not like that,
What?
but I mean, sorry about it. I don't know what else to say. Um, yeah, but
You're
yeah, there's
praying
like
to the
the
government is what you're
tears, and there's
doing. You're
also
pledging your allegiance to the fucking
like, have
government.
you seen the Eucharistic miracles at all? There's times where the host has literally bled, um, and they've actually looked at it in a microscope, and it's literally
Yeah,
has the
exactly.
same substance as human blood. And they've looked at the actual host of the bread, and they actually can see like it looks the same as the way our skin looks like when it's you know how I don't know if you ever looked at that through a microscope. Um, well, I no, but I don't know if you're familiar with if you've seen a picture of what it looks like from like your right. But yeah, they could see like skin cells in it. It's so cool. There's that, and like there's also like in Louisiana actually, there's been hurricanes, and like literally everything is destroyed, like except like the Mary statue or other statues and stuff like that. Um, it's cool, you know. I just like just wish people saw it more. 'Cause I think people are just too. They're just too. I'm not. I'm not trying to sound like in the cliche like sappy way, but a lot of people are they're just blinded by hate. You know, I just really think they are. Yeah, that is. Yeah, yeah. Who? Who's this? Oh, it's not a painting.
Yeah, we were talking about that before. Like people like I would fight against oppression. Like, no, you probably
No,
would be a
it's
Nazi
not.
back then if you lived in Germany.
Like I said, like it
Yeah.
just miraculously appeared. It miraculously appeared. Like
See, I already think everything is
it's
bullshit.
not
I'm skeptical of
painted
everything, so
or
I'd,
anything. Like
I'd be
they haven't
hard
found
pressed to
any
think I
actual
would have blind subservience
like
to any government.
evidence of like etchings or like the point of like wherever like things started of like a drawing or a painting
I just
or
want you to think
anything like
about whether
that.
there have only been two quote unquote Catholic presidents, as was Kennedy and Biden.
Yes, yes, it's a miracle. Like it appeared. Well, because it's something that we can understand. Like,
Yeah,
well,
it's true, man. It really is true.
well, because yeah, so it appeared out of nowhere. That's the really big thing, because that's what makes it a miracle, right? But also it's just it's something that we can see, right? It's how we make like images or how we make sense of the world, right? But so Our Lady had appeared to Juan Diego before,
Yeah.
and told him, I need you to build a church at this location or whatever in I think it was in Mexico City or Tenochtitlan or whatever it
Yeah.
was. And he was telling the bishops that, but of course they just thought he was nuts, right? And they're like,
Yeah, and that's
why would we
why
believe this guy?
never
And then he
never gonna vote.
unfolds his tilma, and then
That's
the
just
image
proof
just
enough.
appears, and then they're just like, okay, no, you convinced us,
But
right? So that's really
I don't
why
know, man.
it
I hope there's a
appeared,
massive
is
positive
it's just
change in
for
our
like so that
lifetime
they knew
because
he was legit, right?
fucking king,
Um,
dude. Fuck off.
so and of course if they see it's Our Lady, that's something
Oh my
they
god.
recognize and stuff like that. So, 'cause, I mean, anything could have appeared, like it could have been like like a demonic image or something, but then that would just be like the like the inverse of that.
You heard it here, folks.
Um,
We need a Catholic king to
but it was
save
just an
America.
image because
Pray
it
for it,
actually, because actually
2024.
when you look at it, Our Lady Guadalupe, um, I know a lot of the Native Americans died of disease and conquest, but there was still actually quite a bit of Native Americans in the time of Juan Diego that um they just didn't exactly know what to think of, like the new like people that came, or in their new religion, I mean, of course that's human nature, right? um or a lot of them just, they didn't really know what was going on, like they're just kind of, have information trouble back then. um but Our Lady, actually, when you see her, she's dressed in Aztec clothing, and she's dressed as like an Aztec queen, um and there's something, I forgot exactly what, like, on her dress. There's a certain symbol that she's a virgin, that like it made sense to Aztecs. And there's also like you see that like there's a design on her dress that's like centered around her womb. And that's like, that also made sense to Aztecs. Um right, and then that's what really, like, it really convinced, like, I know a lot of people
Yeah, he's
just,
like,
I
you
mean,
know
I know this
exactly
did
who you need to
happen, like, it's
kill if
just
shit
people
goes
like,
down.
oh well, it was just like Christianity was spread to like Mexico through the sword, and it's like, well, yes, that is true, and like I'm not gonna say that didn't happen, but like another
I just
big
think
thing
it's
that
funny.
happened
Some
was
like
like
redneck in Alabama is just
this,
like
like Our Lady of
watching
Guadalupe, where it
Fox News
actually
and like
like
a monitor
showed,
comes. He's like,
like
who's
she
this
appeared
fancy
as
dick
an
using
Aztec
words I
woman,
don't
and
know?
like of all these
I'm not
like
voting for.
all these indigenous
It's like, no, you don't
people,
have a choice. You
like
can't vote for
it
him.
literally united like
It's like you can't vote for him,
the
buddy.
two peoples in an
He
organic
doesn't
way.
have my
And like
vote.
it gave them like like
Not
something of
my
Christianity
monarch.
that made sense to them, and then it's like it took something that like
Not my
the
king.
Europeans already knew, and made it kind of indigenous, and there's this really organic
Kaiser
unity that happened.
movement.
um which, like, in other parts of the world, like that just
Is
doesn't
there a
happen.
supreme
Like, I mean,
chancellor
even with like the
movement?
English colonization of the Americas and their conflict with the Indians, and how that went down. And obviously, I know it's not me just trying to dress it up
Every
as like,
twin in
oh,
the
like
city.
this is just innocent, nothing happened here. Like, I obviously know that, like, I mean, of course, like, atrocities were committed, right? Like, that's just happens when two peoples interact with each other. But when you actually look at this, like, you kind of start to see, like, wow, like maybe this actually was worthwhile, and this was something like unprecedented in human history.
Well, I'm down to try something new. We're already fucking grabbed by the balls anyway.
Yes.
Might as well be transparent, like
Yeah,
you said.
on the
Like,
Tilma.
hey, we're
Like
actually not giving you a
he didn't
choice,
even
and you're
he
gonna
didn't
like it.
like he didn't expect it to be there. It wasn't there, and then he unrolled his tilma,
Yeah, it's like at least you
um
know who's fucking you.
and I don't know if it was a rose or some
So you
sort
know
of
what?
flower that
I will
actually
concede to
literally,
that. I
like,
wish we had a monarchy
physically,
because it's the same shit we
biologically
got
could
now. It's
not have
just we know
grown at that
exactly who
time of
it
the
is.
year that they were in. That was another big thing that got people, were like, well, they were just like, so just like lost for words. But that happened, like the flowers came
I haven't
pouring
heard much
out
about
of
him
his,
recently.
like, of the tilma, and the image was there.
I don't know. Everyone's focused on Israel, so I'm assuming as soon as Israel shit dies
No,
down,
it
Russia shit will
doesn't,
come back
because
up.
Our
We're
Lady literally
we're on
appeared,
the North
and the
Korean
image is
cycle
like,
now,
there's
where Kim
nothing
Jong
in
Un's threatening war and
like
missiles.
the
So
Book of
we've
Mormon. Like,
circled back to
he was
him.
just
So we'll
writing that shit
probably
down. Like,
Xi
like
Jinping
God
will be
didn't
next, and
actually
then
like,
Putin again, and then probably
like,
Israel.
the
So
words didn't just
whatever.
like appear, or what does he say? Like,
The
it was
round
on the
table
rock or some shit. Like,
of dicks.
like no one has seen the rock. Like, no, it's, of course that's bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like this people actually do see it, just in the way that people actually do see the
Probably
Eucharist. It's
South
like an
Korea or
actual
Japan or some
physical
bullshit. They don't have
sign, and it
weapons or
unites like
missiles that can reach us
the
as
physical and
much as
the
they claim.
spiritual worlds. And it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
I
what? I'm
mean,
down. Let's fucking do
well, it's just
war.
how did it get there is
That's
what
how we
people ask, and
unite
that's where the
as a
science
country.
come in, and
Let's
they
fucking
try
go
to
to
see
war.
like, well, that's the question, like, well, yeah, that's but like the investigation comes in of like, well, how did this get it? Because you can look at evidence of like, well, was there any painting or any other? You could look at kind of
That would
substance
throw
or
us into like probably World
look at
War
it through a
Three.
microscope like they
If we
did.
attack North Korea, China gets involved,
Um,
Russia gets involved, like that would just
that yeah,
develop into
that's
World
where
War
all
Three, for sure.
the conclusion was that there's no evidence of like an artist doing
I
it
don't know, man. I
using
mean,
like
we might
raw
win, but
material.
so many millions of people would fucking die. Like, it's a lot of people would fucking die for this
It's
bullshit.
Toma.
But it's gonna be in the Pacific for sure. It's gonna be Taiwan or South Korea. It's probably gonna be the
What do you
start.
mean?
So we'll see.
Like it, I'm not. I didn't say it was nothing. Like it's part of the tilma.
Yeah, Chinese want that shit
The
bad.
image is on the tilma. Like I know what you're saying. I'm not saying it's
Yeah, I mean they
made
gotta.
out of
I mean
nothing.
the
It's just
Chinese
that
are
like
they're sneaky. They're
scientists cannot
coordinated. They don't have
explain
to directly
how
attack. They
this
just destroy
image
from
like they
within,
can't use the like
like our country.
processes that we normally use to figure out like
Yeah,
how like because like the image hasn't even it hasn't faded at
they
all.
already
Like
got the younger
nothing has even
generation. They're
happened
all
to
fucking retarded
it.
now. So.
um and they can't explain like what the actual like how would this have been constructed by human hands.
Yeah, because it looked like a crown. But that's a great note to leave it on. Everyone think about that before you go to sleep tonight or work. Think about that before you go to work. It makes you more optimistic for the day. You better got good ideas, I guess.
Well, I guess that I just kind of misspoke. It just they can't find any evidence of like paint brushes or paint or oil or any kind of dye. Like it's just
Yeah.
it's on the tilma. It's part of the tilma. That's what makes it a miracle. Well, I didn't. I'm not saying it's nothing. Like you see, like
I don't think any of it's preferable. Just what's preferable? Just total anarchy. Just let's just kill each other and get it over with. That's preferable.
I don't actually know. Mm, It it isn't though. Like it's just it's literally part of the tilma. Because like I said, it. What do you mean? What's hard to understand about that? Maybe I'm just
Yeah, who
well,
knows what's gonna
yes,
happen?
of
Like
course you can
the
see it,
the little boys he fucked.
but it's not a painting. Well, it's not a painting. No, it's not. No, it is not a paint.
Yeah,
I
like
didn't say it wasn't
oh.
stylistic. It's not a painting. Like I just said, they can't find any, like through a microscope,
No
they
wonder we
can't
like
find
apprentices in
anything
this
in this
country.
that would indicate that would indicate to them that it's painting.
We all have a bit of nuance too, we don't we?
Not really.
That is true.
I mean, it really doesn't.
This just
Like
warms my
I'm
heart.
not really getting what you're saying. Like like what about it's not medieval. Like it's literally in it's indigenous. It's not
I mean,
European at all. Like
definitely halts your ability
that's what
to
I'm trying to
critically
say.
think, I suppose.
Not really.
I don't know, man. Power belief is strong. Everyone knows that. Well, powerful people know that. As long as they believe it, fuck it. Or it's the quote, teach the prisoners they're not actually in prison, so
Like
you
what
control them.
baby?
Some shit.
I mean it isn't though. I am
By the way,
looking at
guys, we're
it.
Reddit mods. Just hope you know that.
It isn't.
I don't fucking know. It's a relevant piece of history. When the fedora was invented, that's when Reddit was invented.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong about like it being paint or not. I guess maybe I messed up there. But like
Probably a trench
I
coat
know,
or like
but
fingerless
what I was
gloves,
more trying to focus
swords.
on is that
Or that's
like
maybe
they
4chan. I
can't
don't know.
find
Reddit's more just like
evidence of like
pretentious, like middle class
using all the
people.
techniques of looking through a microscope or whatever they do to determine like where the actual
Neckbeard shit.
strokes started or like a trace of like a tool that was used to apply it. From
Gotta go to
like a brush
9chan.
or
The
and all
fucking.
that stuff.
Yeah, it's just standard. It's basically like Reddit. It's just sharing ideas, forums, whatever, using it for unhinged revenge porn, finding sleuthing skills. I don't know. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think it
lot of
really
political
is.
rhetoric, a lot of complaining, a lot of whining, a lot of guys that connected the dots type shit. So I don't know.
Oh
It's
yeah.
all fucking.
Oh, I think it totally is unique. I don't really know anything else that looks like this.
Yeah, it's people that, you know, pretend to be smarter than they are. Which is, I mean,
But
to
like,
be
what
fair,
about it
a lot of
specifically?
us at sometimes, but those guys really take it to a whole other level. Like they will fucking they're
Well, like
religious about Reddit.
what baby?
Like fuck. That's like the commandment. Anything written on Reddit, that's like set in stone.
Oh, the devil?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Mary crushes the devil.
I hate how people talk on Reddit. They're so like they're trying so hard to be like professional.
I
It's
know what you're
fucking really
saying, but I don't
weird.
see like I think they just kind of. The problem is not like that they're old men. It's just they just have the same faces as adults. Look like tiny. No, but I don't.
Hell yeah, dude. Put me in that category.
I just don't see it. Like it just it looks indigenous to me than it
They're
does
well
European.
spoken. They just don't have any concrete things to say. Although I
I mean,
will
I
say
don't
the
like
one good thing
indigenous.
about
I just
Reddit
mean
is
like
they
the
have
actual like
awesome product
essence of
reviews
like
because
what
it's
it
a
looks
lot of
like.
like they provide like testing and pictures and like it actually is pretty unbiased. So I do like looking at product reviews
It's
on
not.
Reddit for things. Obviously that comes with its own territorial problems,
No,
but
like
for
what?
the most part, out of any reviews site I've ever seen, Reddit usually is the best way to figure it out because people obviously you have people arguing with each other, but the reviews that people actually write and the tests that they do is more work than I've
Oh,
seen
yeah,
any
no, I
other
agree.
reviewers do besides YouTubers
There's paint
if they're
on the
not
tunnel, but
sponsored.
not in the face or the hands. Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah, so like I said, I conceded that
yeah,
I was
thank
wrong
you.
at there, but the point I that I was not wrong about was like they don't know like where
Yeah,
it
I'm glad
came
to talk
from
to
or
you for
like
three and a
any
half
evidence of
hours.
like
I learned
strokes
a lot.
or any kind of other evidence of like
Working
a
man blues, you
kind of like
blue
artist
collared
being there.
tweaker, get out of here.
Well, they've done it, and they still do
I
it, and
think
they
so.
like
It
to this
sounds
day they
vaguely
still
familiar. I
do
was like,
it.
where is that from?
Well, like what doesn't? It's like a 2D image.
Nice.
Like right, but like what do you like what to you would look Like wood pass
Yep,
is
that's what you're
something
gonna
that's
fall
like
asleep to
miraculous.
tonight. So I wish it upon your dreams.
But it's not natural. Like the whole point of a miracle is that it's supernatural.
Well, yeah. There you go.
I mean, but that's the thing. The point